This is the XNC Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Mag, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, XNC Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox newscast. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the XNC Podcast, episode 252. Mag's always like, give me that.
Let's go. Give me that.
It's been a great week. Just a lot of stuff going on. I've been playing some stuff. You've been playing games. We've been talking. It's been very busy. We are like ramping up to Xbox Showcase. Like we're in this chat of everybody who is planning on going, and it's been like one of those things where like my phone's just like overheated. How you been, Mag?
Doing very well. We are both, actually, I'd like to say that we're both attending the IGN party in LA. Colt and I got our tickets this morning, so that's pretty exciting. So we will be there, and it'll be awesome, man. We get to see all the folks over there, and a bunch of other YouTubers walking around going, "How many subs you got, bro? You know, do you even lift?" You know, like all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I saw your comments about Mag needs to get his fancy cup. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a popsicle cup today.
What
Look at
is
that? Look at that nice. Yeah, the Pride cup is no longer here. The Flower cup is they're both in the dishwasher right now. So we got a popsicle cup today, ladies and gentlemen, full of water, of course.
Yeah, my buddy said that he was doing housework during the weekend, and he goes, "I'm busy doing pink work." I'm like, "Pink work? The heck is that?" And he goes, "Oh, that's what we call us Canadians call when you're doing like housework or around the house, doing the stuff for your wife." And I'm like, "Well, that's extremely sexist." And he was,
"Wow, they call it pink? I've never heard of that before, and I've been lived here my whole life." Listen, man,
I call it get it done, or you get smacked. That's what happens to me.
I've heard honey-do list. Have you heard that one? Honey-do list. I've heard before. Like that's where, like, you know, like when like, honey, this is what you gotta do or whatever. My wife never does any of that. We communicate like human beings, so we just do whatever. I'm like, all right, I got this. You got this. All right, cool. And then we just move on with our life. I don't have a sippy cup, Captain Chats. But yeah, anyway, so exciting, and it's pretty cool. Yes, absolutely. As soon as we walk in, I'll tell you guys right now, when we go into the IGN event, I will be rating the event before we even get in. I'm rating it a 7 out of 10. So it's going to be a 7 out of 10 before I even walk through the door. I'm going to rate it right there. And so, yeah, it'll be...
Did you see somebody made one of those 7 good shirts? I saw it on a podcast the other day. It's a black shirt.
Oh, yeah, that was
IGN 7. Who was that?
That was what's her face there, the Australian one. Oh my God, she used to work for them.
Yeah,
Alana Pierce.
Yeah,
and then the dude was sitting right next to her while she was playing Saros. Yeah.
So I'm playing something right now that I can't talk about, but I've also been playing a bit of Mouse PI. So I'm a couple chapters in. It's all right. It's cool. But
my wife loves it.
I've been playing Crew Motorfest with Game Seeker. I don't know what happened, but we got bit by the bug on that game, and by playing it for like 2 weeks. And yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. But I was talking to you on the phone. You're like in like a total circle of joy. Circle of what? Careful, Colt. This is a family show that goes on Spotify. Yeah, Mag's a very around the Ring of Doom. No, you've been having a good time. Tell everybody what you've been playing. You've been loving it.
Been gaming a lot, and I did a lot of streaming last week. I did 8 hours of game streaming last week. On top of, by the way, can you believe this? A 6 hours and 43-minute Magcast. It was the most epic show I've ever put on in my entire life. Can you imagine this old bugger for almost 7 hours straight without a break? I went to go get a drink once in a while. But other than that, no break. We just went for 7 hours, man. And then I did 8 hours streaming on top of that. I am, of course, neck deep. Now I'm actually not neck deep. I'm almost done with Pragmata. I have 1 trophy left for the platinum, and that is to finish the game on lunatic difficulty. It is, dude. It's so hard because it's not like Resident Evil. Like, you know how Resident Evil, the way Capcom does it, right? Like you build up with each playthrough so that you get like unlimited this, or you get more powerful that, or you level up your character, or whatever you're doing. And then what happens is from there, you can go and play higher difficulties, and it's a little easier. With this, they're like, oh, hell no, bruh. They're like, you're playing Lunatic with nothing. So all the stuff that I've been building up my character for about 24 hours I put in the game. And now you have to do Lunatic difficulty with nothing. So you have to start from scratch. So I'm doing that run right now, and that's it. And then I 100% of the game. I'm also playing Saros also on PlayStation. I'm also, you're going to laugh at the next one, by the way. Playing Saros on PlayStation. Absolutely love it. Will it win Game of the Year? Probably not. It might get nominated, maybe. But I think for sure they're definitely going to get some major nods towards art direction and sound. The art direction and like the visuals and the sound design is a 10 out of 10. The best I've seen all year. So far, we haven't finished the year, obviously, but it's so far, I almost think that they'll win those awards. But Game of the Year, probably not. I think Pragmata has got the edge on everybody right now. And like I said, we got a lot more to go. Now, the last one, you guys are going to laugh at this, okay? So my kids have, I mean, I have it here, but like my kids dabble around with my Series S. I don't let them touch my Series X. So my Series S, and they had some game on there called, okay, you guys ready for this? Achievement Hunters? It's called Zoo Orbs. Okay, and it was like a $5 game. I don't know when the hell they bought it. And it's like a puzzle game. Like, my kids like puzzle games and stuff because, they play them on their phones and stuff like that. So it's some puzzle game on the thing. So I'd never seen it before, and I was skimming through my library, right? And I'm like, what the hell is this Zoo Orb? So I turned it on. I got 2,000 achievement points in 40 minutes.
What? Dude, you're doing
40 minutes.
You're pulling the Mr. Boomstick. I mean,
what? You mean Randall Thor with the Barbie? No, man. It was on there.
No. Randall Thor wasn't popping 80,000 gamer score a month. He was I had a chat with shout out to do whatever you want. Like if you want to chase and watch the score go up, that's fine. It's not like people are going to say, they're going to put a measuring stick on you and say, this is a true gamer. But it is cool to see a number going up no matter how you're doing it, right?
Well, I didn't expect it.
Rand was telling me,
I looked at it. Yeah.
Yeah, Rand was telling me that back in the day when he was going for the 1 million, they didn't really have gamer score slop. I don't know what they call it these days, but you didn't really, like now. You had to play the arcade, like Xbox Live arcade games, and you had to work on it for a couple hours. Now there's like 20-minute games that'll give you 1,000 out of 1,000, and it's kind of
cost like $1.99.
Yeah, it's like
they're all like those Russian, like some like they're like these obscure like Russian developer that just craps out 30 games a day.
Yeah,
for
it's like the baby blue cartridge on the NES.
Yeah. They do the same thing on PlayStation, Xbox. I would imagine Steam is full of shovelware. So there's all kinds of stuff like that. Sure. But they actually bought it. It wasn't even me. So I see this game and I'm like, well, what the hell is this? I've never seen this before because I usually am in control of the purchases, right? And so I saw that and I'm like, well, let me see what this is. So when you can go like to the Game Hub and you can see like progression and all that kind of stuff. So I scanned over and I had never played it. So I'm like, oh, it says I have 0 out of 2,000 achievements. I'm like, all right, let me just get it. So I did it and then I just started playing it. And actually the funny thing is the game was actually kind of fun. And anyway, I got 2,000 achievement points. So now
that's how they get you.
That's how they get you. I'm up to I have 373,000 achievement points right now. So I climbed up 2,000 points. So I'm closing in on 400,000 achievement points. That's pretty good. Not bad for a pony, eh, guys? So
better me.
But the majority of those were from the Xbox 360, but mostly Xbox One. And that was before the shovelware, very much like Rand. Yeah. I just didn't have the time because, I was working in restaurants for 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. I didn't have time to go cranking out all those games. So I had to do it after hours or on weekends. And man, a lot of those achievements were rough. I still have like 130, 135 like full, like 100% completions, but yeah, it's wild. And then now I'm also doing that on PlayStation. I'm cracking platinums as well. So it's kind of fun. And it kind of got that bug in me again. I'm kind of like looking at that score and the OCD in me is going, Meg, you need to hit 400. You need to hit 400,000. Because I stopped for like years and I'm like, I got to get back in it. I want to get that 400,000 because it just looks like a better number. 373 is
that's it, 178 or something. Yeah.
What's that? 178.
Yeah.
That's less than your subscriber count. You got to get those numbers up. Those are
I
rookie
do.
numbers.
And here's something that happened is for those of you who like follow when we're talking about what games we play, I've spent like the past year playing most of my stuff on, well, over half on PC. And this week when I was playing Crew Motorfest, I could have played that on PC, but I've been playing on Xbox. And I always forget, and this is super important that I say this in public, I always forget how amazing the base PS5 and Xbox Series X games look. And how the wonderful convenience, even though a lot of people give me crap. The reason why I say this, Mags, a lot of people give me crap because you play a lot on PC or you talk about being on PC when you should be talking about Xbox. I'm like, well, I mean, that's where the platform is. It's both places. But I play on a I'll pull up Dreamcast guy. My wireless controller, I bring up the game bar. I launch everything from a controller. I don't have to go mouse and keyboard. I'm playing on a 65-inch TV. I'm basically getting a console experience, but then I realize when I get on Xbox, the experience is so much better, and it makes me wonder sometimes,
what,
is
better than
the
PC?
extra graphic, yes, is the extra graphics, like running everything at actual 4K without frame gen or without upscaling at 60 frames, like, is it worth it? I don't know, because I was playing Crew Motorfest, and I was playing another game, which are popping achievements, Mouse PI, seeing the achievements. I was pulling up, while I was racing, I was pulling up Spotify with the controller, which I can do on PC, but everything's just, like party chat, everything's just like so great on console, and we're going to talk about that later on in the show.
Now, did you use your fancy new Steam controller?
I heard you bought one. Ooh, let me see. Oh,
I'm just kidding. It's an Xbox controller. Duped you again, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I had a black Xbox controller here. I'm like, hey there, gamers. Today we're talking about the Steam controller. And I just never actually show it. I just show it really fast, but not the front.
You need to cut out like 2 rubber pads from the bottom of a chair and stick them on the controller.
Put it over like the 2 like sticks. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm like, if I hold it up really fast, maybe they'll actually believe me. Yeah. No. Madcast guy. Thanks, Steven.
So
Coldcast guy sounds better. Yeah. I know what that is. That's a certain shaker. And you know what the thing is? When it comes to achievements and trophies or Steam achievements, whatever you're going for, there's no way you can reach the upper echelons of the greats like myself and Colteastwood and Randall Thor and Mr. Boomstick and everybody else, and even Stallion himself. If you want to reach those levels of greatness, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one way to get your performance up that high. And that's 4XP Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. 4xpgaming.com is the only way that you're going to be able to get 2,000 achievements. See, I got 2,000 achievement points in 40 minutes. You can do it in 26 minutes with 4XP, ladies and gentlemen. Save yourself a little time. You got 14 minutes for yourself. And you know what? That's the only way you can do it. But Colteastwood's got something to say, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to put some Ultra Nightmare in the shaker while you're talking. There we go.
Well, you know what? There's nothing better than Thought Blue Chew. Listen, man, this is 4XP. This is better performance than Blue Chew, okay? Look at him. Look at him pouring it into that cup right now. He's got this fancy 4XP cup. By the way, got another lovely message from a friend of mine on Twitter, of course, DMs, and let me know how excited and happy he was about getting his 4XP. I'll read it out to you, actually, Colt. Here, listen to this.
Ooh,
and this comes from It's a testimonial from our dear friend of the show, friend of XNC, friend of Madcast, and his name is Simon the Pieman. That's right, Simon the Pieman. And he says this, and he takes a picture with his. No, dude, it's right there. Look, it's right there.
Okay.
Right there. You see that? Okay.
I also saw your bank account, by the way, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, I know. I show my bank account, and he says, and actually, here's the picture. I'll show you the picture. There's the picture. There's the picture right there. He sent me with the handwritten note. There it is, right? Oh, by the way, I just got someone add me on Xbox. So what he says, and he says here in this picture, let's go back to it. He says, my second order. He says, thanks to the podcast for introducing me to them. Much love, bro. And that's what he sent me, Simon the Pieman. So he was just saying
I love that
about that in 4XP. And yes, I get it all the time, at least once a week, maybe even twice a week. I get people saying, hey, man, Got my second order, got my third order, got my fourth order. Loving this stuff. They're so amazing. They listen to everybody. They answer you. They're not like a conglomerate where you're going to have an AI bot talk to you. No, real human beings writing real letters. They even handwrite those cards and saying thank you for purchasing their product. Everything else, it's awesome, man. So gamer tag, I'll put it in the chat there, CDB. So yes, 4XP, ladies and gentlemen, it's the only way to get in top performance for this summer.
There it is.
There it is. He's got it shaken up and ready to rock. Colt will be talking as fast as me in no time, folks. That's what's going to happen. All of a sudden, he's going to be talking as fast as me. We'll get this podcast done in 35 minutes.
This is watermelon, right? Now, the funny thing about watermelon is at first I was like, it's not. I like the blue raspberry the most. Something happened when I was hanging out with the guys and sampling it over and over. Watermelon became my absolute favorite.
Yeah, it went from the white gummy to watermelon. All of a sudden, watermelon became like the choice of champions. No fark you. He goes, I thought Mag's gamer tag was Ponymaster 420. No, that was my persona that I was online. If anybody was asking, I know CBD was asking. My gamer tag is in the chat there. It's all capitals, all one word. I am the Mag. That is for Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Same across the board. I am the Meg. So on any 4 of those platforms, I am there. So yeah, pretty good.
If you guys want to get some 4XP, they're doing free shipping all month, and then 15% off your order. So or 15% off your order if you sign up for the email updates. So we appreciate those guys. They're awesome, and
yes, they're amazing, man.
Ultra Nightmare while we do the show. Let's grab a couple questions before we get started.
All right, let's rock.
Steady Steve-O, thanks for being a channel member for 78 months. I haven't talked to him since I kind of set down Crimson Desert, but he says, I got to be the old timer here. I simp for Colt. Laugh out loud, I kid. Great show every week. I pre-ordered Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight Deluxe.
Let's go.
Yesterday. We are swimming in games. We'll probably talk about, there's another game that kind of is starting to surprise people. We're going to talk about first when we get done with this here. Kung Fu Hot Dog, thank you so much for the £2, says, have to check out, please do a future Friday show. I would love to do a Friday show, but Rand does his and they like take up the whole day. But I do the nighttime.
I do Friday Night Live, and I wait till they're done their show, and then usually going on around 8:30 or 9. Yeah, just waiting for them. Yeah, and go. It's just like, all right, okay, guys, you done yet? Speaking of Kung Fu Hot Dog, I just want to say hi. First of all, hi. I haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks now, but I'll tell you this. He actually said to me, and I'm sure he won't have any problem with me saying it, and he gave a very generous donation to the channel, and he says, Meg, I want you to take this, and of course I'm paraphrasing, and he says, I want you to take this, and I want you to buy these, and they are these Rode wireless microphones or whatever. They're absolutely amazing.
Earbuds?
Like wireless Go 3 Gen 3, whatever the hell. I'll bring them up in a minute. They're behind me. And he says, get those for the trip to LA. You need to vlog the whole trip for the channel. And I said, I will absolutely do so. Okay. Yeah, like they've got like a special like receiver that you put on you clip on your like belt. Like and then you have 2 microphones. So one can be on like you or me and one on me or whatever. And dude, the sound is ridiculously good. Now, the other reason why those are great is not only am I going to use them for the entire trip to LA, I'm also going to be using those for my cooking shows to improve the audio, because that was the biggest problem I was having with my cooking shows is doing the audio. So cooking shows resume this week. I start filming again this week. I've been waiting for the delivery for these damn things, and they finally showed up. So again, thank you to Kung Fu Hot Dog for that generous donation, for getting that for not only me, but for the channel and for everybody else for entertainment. And I'm going to make sure there's a microphone stuffed in Colt's pants the whole time when he won't even know it's on. And I'm going to record everything he says. Yeah. He'll be like, as soon as he leaves me, Colt's like, all right, man, I'm going up to the hotel room to change or whatever. And then he goes up and he goes, God, that Mag is so annoying. And I'm like, I'm recording the whole thing. And then
whose
you hear him
idea
peeing
was
in the bathroom.
to bring this blowhard on the channel?
And he's like, why does it burn when I pee? What's happening? Yeah. It's and it's all being live streamed on my channel. Perfect.
Shout out to Kung Fu, because you asked me about mics. When it comes to wireless mics, I have no idea. It's one thing I don't know anything about. And I'm glad you got somebody to help. Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know. We have stuff at work. Right, I didn't order it. I just never really gotten into it. So
This
I can't
is
wait
right
to see
here.
how that works. It's going to make such a difference when you're doing the cooking shows. You got all the charisma and the presentation, and then you have to like yell across to the phone. And yeah, it's going to be. Look at that. That's awesome.
They're
awesome.
like, these are like super high tech, amazing. Like they even got like computer screen like built right into them and all that stuff. So they're absolutely incredible. There it is. The wireless goes, and then the mic's got equalizers built in. Like these are like what the pros use, like when they do the thing. So I got these, and like I said, courtesy of Kung Fu Hot Dog. He's an amazing guy. So it's all right there, and it's got a fancy little carrying case that I can keep with me when we travel. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Now we have the best community. We
do have the best community.
Can't wait. We're gonna meet half of these people. It seems like
I know.
There's such a laundry list. And speaking of another great person, Detective Seeds, thank you so much for gifting 20 channel memberships. It went out to Demerk, the Game Adaptation, Hebs, Stephen Forza, Razor, we've talked to, Noisy Mofo, Guns Deep, Sabina Fest, Daniel McCarthy, Snow Dragon, Music 72, Boom Chow, and Dale in Progress. Shayan Darish, Shark Gagmean, Melancar. It's so funny to look at all these names on like on a randomized list. It can be difficult to say them all. Mount Fist 4. Oh, that's what I'll say. Gustavo, Bettina, Bots, Wheel and Shield, Shrimp and Pat, Extra T, Devilius, and RM Brody. Thank you guys so much. You will get early access. I probably will have a video in the next couple of days. I've actually slowed down a little bit.
It's been kind of. It's it's kind of funny.
Slow right now. Yeah.
Go ahead. But you know what the thing is though? Is it possible that we have nothing to make videos about because Microsoft hasn't stepped on any rakes in like approximately 3 months?
That, and typically it's just so dead for a month because they're about to do Showcase, but they revealed so much stuff ahead of Showcase.
It's just being funny, but
no, it's
at
true.
The same time.
It's true because you and I skipped some of the PlayStation stuff. There were some PlayStation rakes. There were 3 of them last week, and we skipped them. So I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and dwell on some mistakes that PlayStation's made. It doesn't, like, in the end, it doesn't really matter. They're going to recover. It's going to be fine. They're doing well, and the gaming industry's in a really good spot. And I was really prompted to say this because Meg has been an incredible motivation and inspiration for me when it comes to taking care of yourself. And we talk like behind the scenes about how he stays really strong or stays really consistent with working out and taking care of himself because it helps solve other problems. And I got to tell you, for the past year, I'll make this quick, but for the past year, I've really been sitting going, man, I really need to lose some weight, and I really should be getting out and doing something. I should go back and go to the gym, and I should be making more videos, and I need to be doing more, and I need to be doing a better job on my content. And to get to the point, I've been doing those things this past month, and my happiness level has skyrocketed. I can't tell you guys how important it is that when you feel like you're sitting there and you just can't do anything, you got to do something. Because even when it comes to making YouTube content, this past month, I've made probably 3 times the content I normally make. And I just like, should I? Yes, I will. I get to work and I feel great. And then my wife and I have been walking every day. I've thrown in weightlifting at the gym. I just go for 20, 30 minutes, do a couple muscle groups, come home, go for a walk, and then everything's done. And I finally feel a lot better because I'm getting really, really old. And so the games...
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. The games are really good right now. And there's very little to complain about.
No. We got nothing to complain about. And I think why another reason why, I know I was just joking around about the Xbox stuff, but kind of whatever. But the thing is, when you think about it, what's really going on right now is that we're getting inundated with so many fantastic games that there's really no time for news. And like the last couple of weeks, I asked my wife, I'm like, honey, am I having writer's block here? Like I can't do it. And she's like, and she watches the news too. And she's like, there's no news really except for new games coming out. By the way, the reason why I saw like 3 people ask, my head is extremely shiny because I did work out before the show, but I also took a shower right before. So usually what I do is I work out, I wipe my head off, whatever, and then I come do the show. Then I go take a shower before bed. But I had enough time to shower before the show, so that's why my head is so shiny, because it's like been buffed and cleaned with my special anti-stress soap that I use for my head. Yeah, but anyways, it doesn't matter.
Mine was shiny.
Oh, dude, it's shiny as hell. I'm looking at it now. I'm like, wow, it is shiny. But that's, again, because I literally just took a shower. But yeah, man, listen, working out is great for your mental health, especially me. I got a lot of anxiety problems. I've been very open and honest about it. People reach out to me all the time and talk about it. I will be talking about it on the show tomorrow night because there's some not so great stuff that some people have sent me and talked to me about, whatever. And I'm trying to tie this all into video gaming because video games and mental health also help people. Yeah, okay, sometimes you want to throw your controller against the wall, but a lot of times it brings community together, people together, all that kind of stuff. Doesn't matter where you play, what you play. That's all just nonsense for Twitter. But you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's all so important. And right now, we're getting hammered with games, and it's not going to stop until like literally December. And so strap in, have a good time, don't complain. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be awesome. And like we have a lot of great things to look forward to from everybody. You know what I mean? And yeah, I know it's too expensive to break a controller these days, Deceiver. I get it. But
yeah, and if we can make you guys laugh or help you talk about the news and just like get your opinion out there, we're super happy and grateful to be able to do that. We appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, there's a lot to say other than if just try it, just do a little extra and see if it'll help you. You guys, how much
weight have you lost?
Well, it's been fluctuating lately, but I think I'm putting on a little bit of, I guess 11 pounds in the past month, which is pretty good. Hilarious. But basically,
I'm down exactly 11 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Since I started my LA diet.
Mag's not chunky. And I'm not either, but I mean, I could take 2 PS5s and sandwich my gut between them, and there'd be room to spare. At least that's how it felt. And I don't want to make light of everybody has a different way they look at their own body and stuff. But when I'm constantly looking at myself in my inner monologue, going, I don't like how I feel and how I look. It's been amazing. There's no more Mountain Dew and stuff like that, but it's mostly just getting out there and getting busy living or getting busy dying, as
that's right.
Says. But I've been having so much fun. Like the community's been amazing. Hargeet Chani, Game Seeker, and Fonz, and Mag and I were playing and talking the other day on Party Chat, and I don't know what was going on, but Party Chat would disconnect us every 2 minutes. Meg and I'd be like, so dude, anyway, I was in that, and it's gone.
Turns out it was since there was an update, and since that update, I saw it on Reddit. A bunch of people were talking about it and saying the same thing. They're like, "What the hell is going on with Xbox Party Chat? It's just crumbled since there was an update or something." And turns out we weren't the only ones. So there was a whole bunch of people experiencing this problem. I was playing that game I told you about earlier, and I wasn't in a party chat with anybody. It was just me. And but since then, I haven't tried it. But I would imagine they would have fixed it by now. Did you think that maybe it was important to tell us, Colteastwood, that it was your birthday?
Well, it's not. My birthday is not till the very end of the week, so. Yeah, it's not yet.
I know, but we're not going to see you until next Monday. So, like, what the hell? When is the actual date? Now I got to put it in my calendar.
Hold on, because not only is my birthday coming up in a few days, but next week, guys. Next week is the 5-year anniversary of the XNC podcast.
Wow.
5 years of being on the air almost every single Monday. I think I've only missed maybe 2 weeks, maybe. 5 years, and I'm turning a milestone birthday. I'll be 76 years old. It's going to be great.
Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. There it is.
Yeah. So
there it is.
I want to do a big celebration because Mag's been with us. Mag's been XNC for 3 years. And
3 years. I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's been over 3. I think it was 3 in March or whatever, right? So this show, I want to get into the news, guys, and I want to read these supers. You guys,
we are going to get into the news. Yeah.
This show started off. I was going to bring people from the industry or big creators in the industry or video game developers and executive leadership type people, and I was just going to do like an interview show where we talk about the gaming news and everything and talk about them. And I pivoted that into just a duo show, and I had Gaz on here for 9 months. Brought on Meg as a guest twice, and everybody said, you guys are so great together. And I went out on a limb and like, Mag, will you be my co-host? And he was like, oh gosh, seriously? But it's been so awesome.
Trust me, Colt. Not everybody liked me coming on the show. Trust me. It was there were some people who were very vocal. But,
I know.
Yes, Captain Chats agreed. 9 months too long. Yeah.
But there was like 6 people that were like, oh, like what are we doing here? I like this other guy, and it was like the growing pains of change and everything. But it's been amazing. Let me get these super chats. We're going to talk about the news.
All right.
There's a couple of interesting things that popped up today. You guys are amazing. Let's see. We've got It's the Broke Boy with the $2 goes, welcome to Colt and Mag to the circle of jerking.
Okay, really?
Well, I thought it was going to say lurking, but I was going to say we'll call it the circle.
Well, you almost said it yourself. I mean, that's like Randall
joy.
Thor Black Flag resynced. So let's,
and Jez and Boomstick and there's
they all said it too.
Yeah, I have a
crap.
remix video that Red Wolf made. If you for $7, I'll send it to you. Illuminati, thank you so much for the 2. Says new Xbox name should be Phoenix Rising from the Ashes, or I'll add Rising from the Asha.
Oh, right, wow. I'm very clever. Where's my soundboard when I need it? Yeah, just leave the show, Colt. Just drop the mic and just go away. Yeah, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got a solo cast from now on. We'll do another 7 hours of just me. Yeah. Listen, man, just call it the Helix and leave it alone, or just call it Xbox. Period.
Yeah, well.
Call it Xbox?
I think,
or just
think
call it Helix. I think
you have it with
name.
Xbox. Last sip of the Ultra Nightmare Watermelon.
There it is. Just Xbox. That's it. Just call it
Xbox.
Like I said, we said last week, they got away with that with Scream 4, Fast and the Furious 4. They just called it Fast and the Furious. They just called it Scream. Okay, yeah, there was a little like thing that's.
What did they call the Doom game in 2016?
Just Doom. Even though how many Dooms were up before then? Right?
Yeah.
Well, 3 technically.
Bit Fernaldi, thanks for the 37 months. Yeah, 3 plus 4.
Was there 4?
No, 4. No, 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bit Fernaldi goes, how's Forza? Well, Forza Motorsports is kind of on hiatus right now, but thanks for asking. Hardy Johnny, thanks for the 20, says, speaking of happiness, happy birthday, Colteastwood. Well, not quite yet, but we are getting close. Matt says, appreciate both of you. Thank you for the 2. A birthday cake, pink frosting from that blue number. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks. Even though
Grandpa's
it's not for me. We're just saying,
Game
I'm
Cat.
saying thanks for him.
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you for the 2. Says, happy birthday, Colt. Let's see. Resident Evil fan 1999 says, Mr. Eastwood, may you be blessed on your birthday today. Stay safe. Keep up the great content on Xbox Series X and S. Hope you're doing well today. I'm doing awesome. Grumpy Old Far says, happy birthday. And then Mav goes, it was my birthday yesterday. I didn't know it was so close to yours. So Mav, how old do you think Mav is? Let's take a guess.
At least 70. At least 70.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He looks pretty
I
young
would
to
say
me.
He's 40. Look at the chat is going wild. 83. I would say Mav
42.
is
40.
I'm going to go with
42.
He doesn't look that old. I would say, like that old, but you know what I mean. I would say he's 46 or 47.
Picture Mav with a little hat with the propeller and an oversized lollipop. How old
He looks like a kid though.
Yeah,
he looks like a kid, but like so does Noof Nukem. Like Noof Nukem's 50. He's he's a year younger than me or 2 years younger than me. And whenever I see Noof, he looks like an 8-month-old baby. He just happens to be 6'4" and a grizzly bear. You know what I mean? So like that could literally kill people with his bare hands, by the way. I would not toy with that man. Let me tell you, I would not toy with that man. He's a hockey player too. So like, yeah, stay away from Noof Nukem. He will rip you to shreds with his bare hands. But anyways, yeah, he looks like a child. He doesn't even look like he's like anywhere near my age.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Good. Shout out to happy birthday to Mav. Bark Hughes says happy 65th birthday, Colt. All right. Mav said he's 43.
43.
So I was
okay, I was
right
off by
before his
3
birthday.
years, 4
So,
years. Yeah.
Shout out to Mav. He's a great guy.
All right.
Where were we?
He is.
Let's
we weren't doing anything.
Let's talk
We were
about the
talking
game.
about something though.
Let's talk about the game that I wasn't. I mean, I'm figured to be good, and I'm like, I'm sure it's going to be good. The studio is great. Well, I like it, and previews are super hyped. And you were talking about game of the years. This game, 007 First Light, is probably a shoo-in for Game of the Year already. I don't know if you watched some of the
I
reports.
watched all of them.
So what is the deal, bro? Tell me.
Dude, tell me everything. Listen, I expected a good game. Okay, I expected a great game. I'd be like, okay, this is going to be like right up my alley. It's got a little Uncharted in there, a little Tomb Raider in there, a little bit of Hitman in there, and I'm like, this is IO Interactive. They make quality games, and I'm not a fan of all the Hitman games, but there's some in there that are absolute gems that I adore. And anyways, going on, and I'm just like, okay, so I see these previews come out, right? And I watched not one, not two, but 5 different previews. I spent an hour watching all these different previews from everybody, and the general consensus was that this is a game of the year nom without question.
Gosh,
and I'm like, really? And then so when I heard that from the first one, I'm like, well, let me watch the next one. So I watched another one, and they said the same thing. And then the next guy said the same thing. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I was like, is it really that good? Now the thing is, you know, some people pegged it as, oh, it's just going to be an on the rails Uncharted action sequence kind of thing or whatever, with a tiny bit of Hitman, but apparently it is not, and it's not going to be very Hitmanish. There will be elements of it.
Can I ask you a question first, and then I want you to run with because I only watched like this, Mag, and then I looked away. Tell me what your biggest concerns are, and then I want to hear everything that you know, because I don't know if everybody watched the content, but you can paint the picture for us. So what's your biggest concern of 007 right now?
My biggest concern actually was that it was going to lean too heavily into the Hitman sort of thing, where it kind of slowed down the game. But now the thing is though, when you think about a Bond film, I mean, a Bond film is not all crash, bam, boom, action, whatever. There's a lot of espionage. There's a lot of, spying around corners, sitting at the bar, gambling at the casino, this and that. And I would imagine there's going to be elements of that, but it looks like what they've done is that they've taken... Now, the other thing I was actually worried about, I'm like, don't over-focus too much on the gadgets, because then you're just going to weigh it down with... You're just going to bog it down with too much...
mechanics.
Fluff and mechanics and when like Crimson Desert first launched, like the first 2 days of Crimson Desert, like holy good like God in heaven. I mean, it's not as bad though. Like it's not as bad. Like they've certainly sped it up a lot. Like made it a lot easier. You want to mine a rock, you just press the button and that's it.
Press 7 buttons to chop a tree.
Before, like in the first 2 days, it was like I was doing a twister. Put your left foot on yellow and then your right arm on blue, and you're like.
I'm concerned about going into a enemy office or whatever, and I'm like, do I need to use the watch? Do I need to use this thing, or am I supposed to climb up and then figure out to use? Like, I'm sure it'll be great, but yeah, that kind of worries me. The thing is, there are the gadgets in the game. They do have it, but what they've done though is that the other thing I was worried about, I'm like, listen, man, I don't want OG Assassin's Creed where I have to stand behind a bag of flour for 7 minutes while 2 British soldiers are like yapping away, and it'll be like, they're sitting there like, did you see the pirate ship that was just what? And you're like sitting there behind a bag of flour. Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. And I'm like, I don't want to do that either, because then I'm just going to be like, all right. But apparently the word is, from what they've played, it clips along at a good pace where you can choose the action. And that is the cool part. So if you decide to go stealth, you go stealth. If you decide to go loud, you can do that too. However, going loud, very much like a well-designed video game, is that it will react to what you've done. So it may not be your best decision, right? And then a lot of times you will have to act on the fly, very much like what James Bond does. All right. If you watch a James Bond movie, he could be like, shooting some guy up in a mountain, and all of a sudden, these 2 pieces of wood come down. He goes, well, I better jump on those. Jumps on the 2 pieces of wood. Now he's skiing down the mountain or whatever. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Improv in terms of the battles.
Mag, it has to beat one of my favorite games, Splinter Cell Conviction, which is you do all the subterfuge, you have all the gadgets, but if you alert the enemies, the gunfire is on, and you better be good because they can mow you down. And I thought that game just paced perfectly the entire time.
Did you see the action sequences they showed in the game? And they're saying the other thing is that a lot of them are not on rails. Yeah. A lot of them are not on rails. A lot of them are up to you. So like if you decide, like you see a bunch of red barrels outside of like an airplane hangar or whatever, you can actually just go in there and take the dudes out.
Wings. I thought you were going to say something like that.
Yeah. Like, that would actually be funnier. Yeah. Big action sequence outside of a Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah. I said ranch. Yeah.
Yeah. Chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked for boneless chicken wings. So yeah, you can choose to do that, or you can choose not to. You can actually go in, you can scout the area out, check it out, see your enemies, so to speak, whatever, deal with them. You can either go in stealth, you can keep quiet, not blow up a single damn barrel, or you can actually just grab the machine gun and be like, hell with it, and just boom, 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 and just explosions and things going on, and like particle effects and all kinds of stuff were happening. It was awesome to watch. And not only that, even the car mechanics look tight as hell. It was just like, wow, this game has everything in it. And what I'm hearing from all these previews is that they found a way to not overbear you with one, but you can balance it out beautifully so that you can actually do a little bit of everything and not feel bogged down with just the espionage, or you're just like, well, I'm just doing a mindless shooter, blowing everything up, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So like they said that they found the perfect balance in this game. But the thing is, on top of that, you have player choice to be able to do these things as well. So that's the key to it. So you can go in there and you could just be like, I prefer the stealth myself. Like I'd rather go in an area, sit on the roof, do my thing, check out where everybody is, see what's going on, and then say, all right, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go down this ladder or whatever, jump over the balcony, take this dude out. The only thing that they were complaining about that I saw so far is that you can't like grab bodies and drag them away or whatever in the stealth mode. That was just like a little minor gripe that someone said.
You got to leave them where they are.
Like, you got to leave them where they are.
Hide them and everything.
Yeah. So now this is a preview, right? So we're not getting the whole game here or whatever, but that was one thing that they did say is that the bodies are there. However, that does have consequences too. So like you have to be careful as to where you knock these guys out, because you may not have the time to, dragging a dude over to the laundry and then throw him in the dryer. You know what I mean? And like you have to get from A to B, and you've got to do this in a timely manner. Well, sometimes you knock a dude out, you might knock another dude, but then the thing is, if you didn't see the third guy, that third guy's going to come over, find those bodies, and then things are going to get real, right?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of decision making you have to do on top of that. So there's a little bit more freedom than people anticipated, because the trailers just made it look like this was a game of just the action set pieces of Uncharted. Which also people love to misinterpret, because Uncharted is not all action sequences. A lot of it is exploration, climbing, jumping, this and that.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be like the postcard, like it's your typical stereotypical James Bond thing. Like you'll drive a car for a minute, you'll show up, you'll do a shootout, you'll go in, you'll scan a couple things, and it's like just kind of this paint by numbers thing. I want to talk about
Carrie Taylor, yes, you do have a license to kill. You will be able to go loud at any moment, unless there's a very specific mission where they're like, you cannot alert anybody. You got to get in and out of here and do what you have to do. But for the most part, yes, Carrie Taylor, you have the option to go loud whenever you want. You are given that license to kill, literally.
When I did see the devs explain that, which is why I brought up Splinter Cell Conviction. It was the one Splinter Cell game where it's like, if you get caught, you better be ready, because you can have a full shootout, and it's totally part of the game. Let me read a couple supers here. Ian Alvarez, he has 2 supers. He says, try the 4XP. I can say that I love it. My favorite flavor so far is watermelon. Thank you, guys. I'm playing Crimson Desert and like it a lot. You should love it a lot. He says, have a great show. He also says, thank you so much. He sends 2 of those that this is how much he loves watermelon. He told us twice. I really came around on watermelon. It's so good. So really good. And if you pick up some 4XP and you get like the tub where you can scoop your own, add a little bit extra in just to give it that extra bite. Oh, you'll know when you taste it. It's amazing. The Eldest Gamer 73, thanks for the 2, says 53 years old for me and I'm still gaming.
Nice.
Mag, we've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
I can see another 12, 15 years, I could game like the way I am.
That's it?
Without going to easy mode and going, let me take out my dentist.
Are they gonna have? Are they gonna have like you know how like we have the stands for our controllers? Are they gonna have stands for our dentures? We could put our dentures like on the stands, like where the
on your
controllers
headset.
are.
It clips on your headset,
like a controller tree. Like like my son has a controller tree that like you can put all the controllers on it. So then when you take the controllers off to play, you just put your dentures on there and you keep going. Listen, man, we don't have 10 or 12 years to game. We've got at least 25 to 30. And yes,
Okay.
Maverick, he also has a license to ill. Only Beastie Boys have license to ill.
Oh, that's true.
But
yeah.
But yes, listen, man, we're gonna keep gaming until we're done, man.
The problem is
When I mean done, I mean dead.
When we're like 65 or 70 years old, it'll be like, you have to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy.
Nice.
It's
Nice
gonna
Back
be
to
all,
the Future reference.
It's going to be Connect.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be playing
that'll be worse for us.
Meg and I'll be
worse for
playing
us with our,
Connectimals in the old folks' home.
No. I want controllers.
I'll
I'll just
saying,
take extra
Tiger,"
arthritis meds.
I'll be going, come here, Tiger.
Look at that.
Mag will be saying that to someone else.
Look at that. Night of Cypher. My dad is 78 in games. Beautiful. That's what I like to hear.
Love it.
That's what we're going to be doing, man. We ain't going no place.
Yeah.
Although we are doing it on easy mode. Hell with that. I'm not doing any lunatic mode for Pragmata 7. Okay? Because I figure Pragmata 7 will come out by then.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, it's good new IP. So was there when you watched all these creators do the preview, did they have any complaints that you remember? Or is it just
one thing the one complaint was that you couldn't hide the bodies. That was one thing. And actually, honest to God, I don't remember anything else. A lot of them didn't have anything really negative to say. Like I said, they were just like, this is it. Like, this is a fantastic game. From what we played, it's a fantastic game. And like, it was just gushing with praise. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, I couldn't believe it. And that's why after I watched the first one, I'm like, nah, this can't be. I mean, first of all, I'm getting it. It's day one. Yeah. I'm playing it. I'm playing it live on the channels for anybody. You know what's been great actually about me doing a lot of these games this year? There's a lot of people coming by because they're kind of on the fence with some of the games, and so they come and watch my streams because they want to see if they want to buy it or not, right? So all the games that I'm playing them all day one. So yes, so if you're on the fence, come watch me play it. I'll be streaming it day one. Same with Lego Batman. Same with all the other games, and so I'll be there. But anyways, I watched the one and I said, nah, this is too. This is way too positive. Like, it seemed like you know what I mean? It was over the top. Chills. It was like, it was like Kevin Smith when he reviews a superhero movie. You know what I mean? He's just like, the guy's like, I loved every second of all of this. You know, and I'm like, all right. But anyways, I love Kevin Smith, but I'm just saying. Anyways, so then I watched the second one. The second one was the same. Then I watched the third one. It was the same. And then a fourth one, I'm like, okay, there's a pattern here, dude. There's a pattern here. Like, everybody's saying the same thing.
Did everyone say this is a love letter to James Bond as a character? Was that like the repeated thing everyone said?
No. There are moments of the James Bond-ish elements. Like, he's still going to be James Bond or whatever. They're not focusing a lot on the womanizing and the gambling and all that kind of stuff or whatever.
They said it's in there.
So, you know.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in there it's kind of alluded to, but it's not like, you know, he's not bagging broads like Pierce Brosnan did in the 90s, you know, like, oh, man, I'm quite the cunning linguist.
I told you can't call chicks broads.
I know.
I'm annoyed by this on the every
I always say that word because it reminds me of the 1930s. Like I'm a huge fan of film noir. So like, oh, that dingy broad has come by the office again. It just makes me laugh.
There's broads,
I don't actually call women. I don't call women broads. Okay.
What's with the James Bond guy like doing this the whole time? I can't do it. He's like,
yeah.
He's got like the original Mad Max like scowl thing. Like, can you do it?
Yeah.
Give me the yell. Got the Popeye thing.
Yeah, see the guys are doing all the stuff from the film noir movies from the 30s. Now listen here, you dingy broad, you're gonna get inside the car, see, and then we're gonna run into the mountain, see, and that's the way it's gonna be. You know what I mean? That's the way they use it. I mean, anyways, all joking aside, he's not gonna be bagging girls left, right, and center like, you know, like the older movies and stuff like that. There will be some stuff that's alluded to, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of that. So they did talk about the narrative being a little bit different and all that.
Sounds like it's a really classy game. Like they tried to make it so it's not really cheesy. It's supposed to be just like really cool and be the spirit of James Bond.
Well,
when you make a movie game, it's like you're rolling the dice, but yeah. Sammy
Well,
Basil is saying I'm calling it an 88 will be the
it might be
probably.
it might be. The other thing that they were talking about is he doesn't quite start out as 007. Like he's just like in training or whatever. He's with them. He's a problem child, so to speak. Like if you watch the trailers, they show it in the trailers, right? Because there's the dude who doesn't want him to be be a 00 agent, and then there's the lady who wants him to be a 00 agent, and then she's arguing for him, and she's like maybe he seems like he's a loose cannon with no target, and then she says in the trailer, she goes, "Let's give him a target." And then, you know what I mean? Like basically saying like, let's focus him. Let's get him focused on a task or whatever, right? And that'll, bring him up to the greatness that became the legendary 007, right? So that was kind of a cool idea. And then, of course, they're going with a very similar trope in terms of story. Lenny Kravitz, which by the way, he looks cool as balls in this game. Lenny Kravitz is the bad guy, and he is a former 00 agent.
Is he going to be doing, are you going to go my way? Or is he going to go way back?
Yeah, right.
So many tears I cried. That's the same guy.
It's the cab driver. Yeah. Like as in the actual Lenny Kravitz, the singer. Have you seen what he looks like? He looks dope, man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
With his
hair
so
awesome.
And stuff. And he looks awesome. He's got like the cane and stuff.
My wife and I were driving around and that Lenny Kravitz song came on, When Will I See You Again, I think it's called. And it's just like this repeating thing over and over. It was such a hit. And I remember we were like, okay, that's enough. We turned it off because he just repeats the chorus over and over. I remember when they revealed him for this.
So he's apparently a 00. I think he's like 009, 0010. I don't know what the hell number he was. They say it in the trailer. And he's gone rogue. And I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing this trope. They've done that like in movies before where it's like, he's an ex whatever, used to work for MI6 and this and that. And so he knows all their moves. And so he's going to outsmart Bond left, right, and center because Bond is a newer recruit. And this guy's like walked away from it. So he's going to know everything that Bond has been trained in or whatever. But the thing is, this is what I'm guessing. This is a guess, but it's probably a pretty solid guess. What I think is going to happen is Bond is going to get the upper hand on him only because of his unpredictability outside of the training, because he was already a loose cannon before he went into training. He's not just a book smart guy who also happens to be incredibly physically fit and could do these things. He's like a rebel, wild, he
doesn't come off as, he comes off as a
runaway.
He comes off as a by the book type of guy to me when I see him on
he's
screen.
The direct opposite. Yeah, he's the direct opposite. Like apparently he's like a wild man and like he'd been arrested before and like that kind of stuff. Like he's a bad boy kind of thing. And so I think the bad boy element mixed with his training is what Kravitz's character will probably not be ready for, because he's expecting a very disciplined 00 agent coming after him. And he says, well, their training says you do this, this, and this. So he's expecting that, not realizing that this is a wild man, bad boy, loose cannon psychopath, not psychopath, but like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And then that's where he's getting like a street smart kind of gangster. You know what I'm saying?
Look at what Dova 32 wrote.
What the hell did he write?
Stupid.
00 poutine. Yeah. Listen, Dova, if I was 00 poutine, I wouldn't look like this, okay? No poutine in this man's diet. I even cut sugar out. That's really funny.
That has got to be the worst name for a food.
It's the stupidest thing.
It would be a name for something else, Listen, when I was in high school, I had a lot of poutine or something, but not.
I'm embarrassed by it because everybody's like, oh, Canada, poutine. I'm like, actually, poutine sucks because the gravy is bitter. The fries don't help it. And then the cheese on top of it. What are you doing? It's just a mess. It's a mess. It's nonsense. And gravy and fries, I don't care what anybody says, okay? Gravy and fries do not go together as well as people think.
I don't.
No, you
I've
can't
never
get
tried
poutine
it because I never want to go up to a counter and say, could I have the poutine? I just couldn't do it. It's like going to IHOP and ordering the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. You can't do it with a straight face.
And speaking of straight faces, people like poutine. People like it. Yeah, no, I just don't like it. And listen, man, I've been a chef for like 30 years, man. And I'm telling you, it just doesn't work.
Udon needs to save some poutine for the rest of us, Mag. We know you're a closet
dude. You can have all of
scarfer. All right?
Yeah, you can have all of it. Take all of it. My wife loves poutine, and I'm like, oh, just get it out of my face. Just give me regular fries.
Wait, are you talking about food
ketchup.
still?
Yeah. Yeah, still I'm talking about French fries, Colt. I don't know what's going on with you. You're getting in your older age now. You're getting wild, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be an R-rated podcast before you know it.
I'm wild and reckless like James Bond from First Light. That smile. I don't know what that is. That whatever it is.
I know it's I know what you're saying. I don't know what the hell you would call it. Like a wince?
Have you ever had Russian poutine?
Nice. That's hilarious. That's funny. Listen, game adaptation. Not a chance. He says gravy on fries is better than ketchup. No way. There's no chance.
Well, country gravy on fries is good. The
country
white
gravy is
country
not
gravy?
the same gravy. Yeah, that's different.
It's not.
Country gravy is a different thing. Yeah, it's a whole different thing. Yeah, that's a whole. The Sousa, no, it's not a stroke. No, I'm not laughing at strokes. I'm just saying.
Stroke me, stroke me, stroke. Only on XNC could we talk about poutine for 7 minutes. I sent you a clip on WhatsApp where a guy told some random story while he was making spaghetti. Yeah, put your meat gravy on the fries and shut up and get over with it. So anyway, that's enough of 007, but I guess it's winning me over. I mean, I guess I have to play it. I know it's going to be.
You have no choice.
You
have no choice. You got to play it now.
But we've got Lego Batman coming up, which is going to be fantastic. Let's see.
I can't wait.
Ionel Alvarez, thanks for the 5. He says, did the Xbox gathering at LA is open to everyone or just invited for fans? Well, there's a Xbox showcase, which is just for fans that were selected, but there's Summer Games Fest if you can still get tickets. But if you're in the area, you can definitely come around and maybe catch up with people. Mag and I just got free tickets for IGN Live on Saturday, so we're going to go there.
Yep, we'll be at IGN.
And we're going to look for Brian Altano and Max Scoville and Ryan McCaffrey and Damon Hatfield and trying to name all the superstars over there. No, well, I don't know. I never saw one of them at the last event, but yeah, you should come out. Kerry Taylor. That's Kerry Taylor. Yeah, you said that out loud. Thanks for the $2 super, bro. He says, happy birthday, Colt. The new James Bond reminds me of Roger Moore. Awesome. Yeah, I probably need to brush up on all of my James Bond, but I was going to say a movie tie-in used to be a dicey thing. Now it's kind of turned into a banger of games. So, anyway.
First of all, there's not so many. There's not so many of them that are coming out now. Like there are movie tie-in games, but it's not as prevalent as it was like back in the PS3 360 gen. Like every bloody movie that came out had a movie tie-in. The Hulk, Captain America, there's all the superhero movies all had tie-ins. Like Street Fighter the movie, probably the most abysmal video game I've ever played outside of E.T. Like for example, Mortal Kombat 2 is coming out next week in the movie theaters, right? They would have had some kind of a movie tie-in, and you know what I mean? And like there was always something tied into big budget IPs, and they weren't good because they had to get the games out when they started producing the movie. So a lot of times they didn't have a lot of time to work on the game. So they had to slap old mechanics from other games and put them into whatever game. And so now they've got time. They're making original IPs based on movies or books. Like, for example, another one besides First Light, we got to talk about Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy is not based on, the Harry Potter books or films directly. It's just in the world. So they have all the time, no pun intended. You have all the time in the world to do it. Lord of the Rings is coming out in the next couple of years, the open world one, right?
Yeah, the Mordor games got all the time in the world because they didn't try to. Sorry, I was talking over you. They didn't try to do Samwise and Frodo. They picked this Italian character, and it's all adjacent, and you don't feel like they're stepping on the book or the movie you watched. It's been really cool.
The only ones. Do you remember all the Harry Potter games that EA used to make, like way back in the day?
Yeah.
Every Harry Potter game, it was like Philosopher's Stone. Then like with the release of the films, they always crank out another game. The Falafel Stone.
Sorry, I'm really hungry tonight. Harry Potter and the Falafel Stone.
Chamber of Secrets. Then they went on from there. Like they had Half-Blood Prince. They were great games. I loved them. They were fun. I think it was only because they were Harry Potter games.
Were they like the Lord of the Rings ones? Like very similar?
Well, the Lord of the Rings. No, they were more open worldish. Like you can go down to the dungeons and brew potions that would help you with your quest. Yeah, it was kind of like it wasn't like full open world, not like Hogwarts Legacy, but like you could wander around the castle and do different things and stuff. It was fun. EA made some good Harry Potter games. They were fun back in the day. But yeah, the Lord of the Rings ones were actually really damn good. The ones that came out with the movies.
Yeah,
those ones I'll give.
Experience them.
Ron, stop! Deceiver, you know what I'm talking about. I saw the same video you did. Wingardium Leviosa. You ever watched that video, Colt? You know what I'm talking about?
Like I don't know the movies well enough to know, but
yeah. And then Snape walks in. It's Wingardium Leviosa. Yeah. That's a rough one. That's a. Mm-hmm.
But big shout out to Hogwarts Legacy. If they make that sequel come out, holy smokes, are we gonna be?
What do you mean if they're almost done?
Well,
they're deep in production. Like they're already play testing. So I'm expecting it at the end of next year, 27. So expect another year and a half. It'll be out.
Okay.
But
yeah,
apparently that's pending delays, but they're already playtesting areas of the game right now. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
I don't know. There's so much to play. There is so much to play right now.
I have to leave the podcast, Colt. Noisy Mofo said, sorry, everything Mag says is nonsense after his poutine comments. I never liked it, okay? I never liked poutine.
I've had plenty of chances to order it, and I can't bring myself to do it. Let's see. The Eldest Gamer 73, thank you for the 2, says nobody's talking about Lords of the Fallen 2.
Didn't even know it was coming out.
Showing. It's out, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's out. Yeah, it's out. Know. I'm pretty sure.
They released like Lords of the Fallen. They released Lords of the Fallen on PS Plus, I think, last month. Like the remake one. But there's 2 of them called Lords of the Fallen. There's one that came out like 10 years ago or whatever. 5 years ago. I can't remember when it came out. And then they released another one with the same name. And then that one they just released on PS Plus last month, actually, as a matter of fact. The newer one. So now they're saying there's another one?
Yeah, it's coming out in 2026, according to this.
Oh my
yeah, you're right.
God.
Because Lords of the Fallen had like Zangief on the cover. Looked just like Zangief.
Zangief, yeah.
It was like a heavy Dark Souls, like slow. And then Lords of the Fallen came out, like 8 years later. And that's where you have the lantern and you can go into the underworld and back out of the underworld. You have to get out of the underworld. It's kind of cool.
I tried both of them. But it was too involving. I'm like, I don't know. See, look, Matt G in the chat. Poutine I do not like, and I'm a private chef. There you go. See, there's 2 chefs in a row telling you they don't like it. Anyways, whatever. Sorry. So Lords of the Fallen 2. So it's a sequel to the reboot, and it's coming out this year? Like when? Like what kind of traction do they think they're going to get?
Well, it just says 2026, but it's so crazy how a couple of weeks ago we did a show when we were talking about all the stuff that doesn't have a release date, and Blood of the Dawnwalker got a big reveal last week after the podcast, and Galactic Racers got a release date, something else. Like everything's kind of coming out, and it's pretty apparent now that Rockstar, they've already put up billboards, so they're committed to their November 19th release date. So I think the developers are kind of crawling out of their hole and going,
well, there's a lot of stuff going on in talks right now because they have a branch in India that's working on the game, right? And the branch in India, they're
Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, working on Grand Theft Auto. And they're working on it, and a lot of them are working till like 3 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that or whatever, blah, blah. And then they're saying, and then actually someone came out and said, well, you guys don't understand Indian culture. It says because there's so many of us here, a lot of people don't even have work-life balance. A lot of people sleep 2-3 hours a day and go back to work or whatever, because if you don't, there are 1.4 billion people standing behind you ready to take your job. So a lot of them just work themselves to death just to do it, whatever. So they're saying this wasn't really coming from Rockstar, but it was kind of like that's their work culture of what they do. Less people, but they basically work them to death. And so they're like working there like 20 hours a day and this kind of thing, 18, 19-hour days and all that stuff. And that's kind of what they do. And then a lot of like actual Indian people came out and said, yeah, that's kind of the culture over there, and that's what's happening or whatever, right? So a lot of that kind of came out. But then they were talking about the Rockstar North and whatever else, and they were talking about their situation and saying, yeah, there's some crunch here and there, but you know what the thing is, at the end of the day, what job doesn't when you have projects? Like I can't think of like no one says, all right, go home, like if there's something to do. Like, for example, I'll take the restaurant industry, for example. When I used to be in it, our crunch was from November, the first week of November, all the way to New Year's Day. Okay, New Year's Eve was like the end of it. That was the big night, whatever. And then after that, it was pretty chill because you go into January. It's pretty quiet around that time of year. It's dead. Everybody gets to have time off, whatever. But up until that point, for 2 months and leading up to it, like the month before, even into October, dude, we were working 7 days a week, 16 hours a day, sometimes 17 hours a day. And sometimes people would sleep in the restaurant, in the booths, and then just go back to, like, if they didn't have to go home for anything, and then they'd go back to work. And we did that 7 days a week.
Schreier knew about this?
Yeah, right. Nobody gives a shit. You know what I mean? That's the funny part. Nobody cares that a mechanic stays till like 9 o'clock on a Friday because he's got to finish these cars to make this contract, and he just worked a 17-hour day.
Meg's got an excellent
point
else. There. I'm like, Jason Schreier and people who have like broke what's going on in the games industry, they're not talking about what's happening in other corporations. I don't know why the games industry gets a special spotlight on people being overworked.
There's blue collar guys in all industries and whatever else being worked, not being worked. Some are being worked, but a lot of people do it on their own because they have deadlines to meet, quotas to make, whatever, and they do whatever they have to do. But no one comes out and starts writing sob stories about mechanics and chefs and this and that. You know why? You know why they don't care? Because they go to a restaurant, they sit down and they eat their food. They don't care what's happening back there, and that those people are like barely standing on their feet. They're like, well, I don't care.
People in the restaurant industry work, 17-hour days because the restaurant's only open a certain amount of time. Like, I don't think mechanics work. Yeah, somebody in the Snow Dragon said it doesn't mean we have to continue to do like slave-like labor without the quotes.
No, I'm not saying that that's what has to be done, but I'm saying for a lot of things to get done, that's what has to happen. Otherwise, if you get your car in for an oil change, instead of having it done in 1 day or half a day, or you got to get like something done to your car, your tires rotated, instead of waiting half a day for it, you might have to wait 2 days or 3 days, and then that starts getting people upset. They're like, "Oh, why is it taking so long?"
Yeah,
Or then you get these same a-holes that come to a restaurant on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Why is my food taking so long? I'm like, do you not see the 400 other people here who got here before your dumbass walked in the door? And it's like, you're the same people. So you're gonna cry and complain that things are taking too long when that happens. And then you know what? It started happening in the game industry when development started taking way too long because they started putting in the mandates of saying, oh no, only 40 hours, this and that.
When games
started getting unions in there.
3 years to make,
right. And now games, instead of 3 years, now it takes 5 to 7 years for a game. And then
it's because the publisher, people don't realize this, the overworking of studios is because the publisher is like, where's my game? Because when you've got a studio like Rockstar or Naughty Dog who are working on a game that normally used to take 2 to 3 years, is taking 6 plus, like even Fable's taking 6 years. The last Halo game took 4 or 5 years. I don't remember off the top of my head, right? This is a problem because the publisher said, we gave you 2 years or 3 years worth of labor allotment for you to run your studio and make this game. And now you're saying you need 2 more years. So we have to keep funneling you money, hoping that when the game comes out, it'll make it back, which most games aren't making it back. And I've worked in the private industry. I've worked in the public sector. And both of those are like, we need to stay here until it's done, even if you're in a union or not. And I think it's interesting that some people say, we don't want these people to be mistreated that are making video games, or there's people who say, I just want my dang game. I don't care how long or how hard they have to work. But the reality is they're all getting overtime pay. They're getting time and a half.
Well, if they're getting time and a half and they have the choice to do so, I mean, they have the choice to like whether to keep working or whatever, go home. See, the problem is too, here's the other problem. Then you've got a worker, let's say we'll take the game industry, back to the game industry, right? You got a developer saying, okay, well, they're saying if you want to stay and do your overtime to get these jobs done or whatever, you could stay, or we can't force you. It's not like they're going to nail you to the chair or whatever, right? But here's the thing. There's another mentality, and the other mentality is this. Those developers are going, if I take off and all these guys stay, I'm going to look like
they're going to take my job,
and they're going to take my job. They're going to fire me. And so there's that too. So it's a vicious circle. So you're getting pressure from the executives. You get pressure from the public who have no patience either, right? And you see it every day. What the hell's taking so long? And it doesn't matter what industry it is. Everybody's always rush. I want it now, not realizing that a human being is practically killing themselves to get you that, so that, you know, you get whatever you need on time or whatever, right? So, and then what happens when you take that away? Now people are, like I said, people are now complaining that it's taking too long. So you get pressure from the public, pressure from the executives, and then there's a quiet pressure within your peer group. Because like I said, if you're the only guy going home after 40 hours and you go, see you later, bro, and you take off and everybody's staying there like for extra hours, they're all getting paid overtime. Fine. Obviously,
they're all
right?
talking
You're getting compensated
mad
for the work.
smack about you and throwing you under the bus.
Yep. Exactly. And even if they aren't, the thought is perceived. It's a perceived thought that is actually what's happening. And as a result of that, now there's pressure from there. So you see how like you can't win. You can't win. And like I said, I brought up the example about India. You can't win because the minute you walk out the door, another Indian will be standing right behind you going, I'll do it. And then they push you out of the way and you're gone because there's 1.4 billion people over there. So, you know what I mean? Like it's a situation. So what do? You either knuckle up or you get out of the business.
Yeah, the corporate structure and oversight is really made game development so ridiculous because the total opposite would be like way back in the day, the guys at id working on Doom, they probably worked till 2 a.m. one night because they were on like some crazy breakthrough of the technology and they're working, and they would come in the next day at 11 o'clock in the morning, you know, and just work on the game because they were up so late, or they'd come in early. Yeah, like this, it's such a different culture. These smaller studios are making absolute gold when it comes to games because they don't have a corporate structure and all these charts and these people in the boardroom that won't talk to the developers. It's awful. It's why the smaller games are actually absolutely killing the bigger games. But yeah, what the heck brought us onto that? I don't know.
We were talking about Rockstar.
Yeah, about the delays and all the release dates. Yeah. An interesting Alina Analytics article broke down what Xbox is selling on PlayStation 5. They also did a breakdown of what, let me see if I can pull that up as well, of what PlayStation sold on PC. And this interesting narrative, Mag, that what these platforms are doing works or doesn't work depending on who wants to have their narrative for or against exclusivity, or whether they should pull games off of PlayStation. This is an interesting discussion because PlayStation is yanking their games off of PC, and I keep saying on the show, are they? I mean, Jason Schreier said they are, but most of their games are still coming to PC, and there's, you know, it's like they're still going to put some on there. Or, you know, the rumor, maybe they're going to make their own launcher, which I don't know, but let me see if I can find the PlayStation one. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So I've got, I can't put these on the screen because it covers up, but the top 2 highest selling games for Xbox on the PS5 from their own first parties, Forza Horizon 5 and Sea of Thieves. And then Oblivion did 1 million, which is amazing. Grounded did almost 1 million, which is really amazing. But after that,
that was surprising.
It's like, why are Gears, Doom, Indiana Jones, Starfield, and then some other smaller games, why are those games like barely cracking 300,000 sold on the PS5? And when you look at the top selling games, Forza and Sea of Thieves, they sold, you know, 3 million and almost 6 million. And they did it years. I'm talking years, 4 to 8 years between those two games. They sold well on PS5 after they'd already been around on every other device on Xbox and PC and cloud, right? And then I look at the Helldivers sold almost 15 million on Steam from PlayStation, and Xbox's Starfield sold 3.8 million. It's available on Game Pass on PC and Xbox. And then Ghost of Tsushima sold almost 3 million copies. And that's not a small number. I know they probably sold 12 million on PS5, but Ghost of Tsushima took 18 months or something, or 2 years to come to PC, and it still sold almost 3 million. I just continue thinking, how could you not sell your games on PC? And then when I look at Xbox, I'm like, why would they put their games day and date on the PS5 when the majority of those barely sold anything? I don't know if you had a chance to break down or look at these numbers, and I don't know what that means to you, but
well, have you noticed what games are selling? The games that are selling are the ones that were generally more supported by the community, whether it doesn't matter what platform it was on. They were like, the user scores were high. People enjoyed them. People liked them. Now, I'm not saying that the other games weren't being enjoyed by people, but they certainly didn't light the world on fire. And it's no mystery when you look at those games that did not sell well. They were not received. Some of them were scored incredibly well, but they were not received the same by the public. And how do I know that? Go to the Xbox achievements. That's all. I've been saying this for like a year.
You have.
Go to the Xbox achievements, and before people start talking smack about this, that, and the other, look inward. Not this crowd, because this crowd plays games, right? Because we're gamers out here playing these games, engaging, all that kind of stuff. But the majority of the people are not. They're not engaging in those games. You look at the achievement percentages of those games, like Outer Worlds 2, Avowed, Indiana Jones, Hi-Fi Rush, even. They weren't playing them for more than like 2 hours. You look at it and like it's a rare achievement to literally roll credits on Outer World 2. 9%, if I'm not mistaken. I have it right here somewhere. I think it was 9%. 19% really got to level 2 of Hi-Fi Rush. Right? 19%. Level 2. I have it right here. And then on top of that, Outer Worlds 2, 10.73% finished the game on any difficulty. That means that almost 90% of gamers didn't even either bother to play it or didn't even bother finishing it. So there's a disconnect. And the reason for that disconnect is that it's not connecting. I know this sounds stupid. They're not reverberating or connecting with the mass audience. You know what I mean? It's not something that everybody wants to play. There are niche pockets that say, yeah, this game is awesome. This game is awesome. I love this game. I love this game. I love this game. And these are not slights against the games themselves, because I know someone in the chat is going to be, but I love this game. That's fine. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the grand scale. The grand amount of people aren't playing those games. So why would they think that it's going to sell on PlayStation for full price or near full price, $50, whatever, for most of those titles, if the Xbox and PC players weren't playing them? Like, if someone can explain that to me, then that's half the problem right there. But you know what did sell?
Hold on. If I look up the percentage completion across PS5 and Xbox Series games, PlayStation typically has a 5% higher completion rate over the Xbox, which has, I know you kind of attribute that to Game Pass. I think that's what you're saying, because I could sort of feel that because you have so many games with Game Pass, you're more likely to bail out of a game and say, let me try something else, because you have far more choice and convenience. But the numbers,
you have
when you look at completion rates on trophies, the numbers say 25 to 35% on PS5 for completion rate per user or per capita or whatever. And then on Xbox, it's 20 to 30%, which isn't far off. But I really do think that Game Pass contributes to Xbox having a lower completion rate. Yeah.
Sure it does. Because if you got all these squares to look at, right? And then you're like, well, let me download this game. 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 And then all of a sudden you're downloading all these games. You're like, well, let me try it here. Okay, well, let me try it over here. And then let me try it over here. And then let me try. Well, that's not really helping the game or anybody else. Like, that, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
And it's just too much that's going on. It's just, listen, man, this is not the way it goes. But if you bought that game, let's say for a full $70, you're absolutely right. I would imagine that, like, let's say you're on Xbox and you bought a Void. Jesus Christ. What a
yes. The bias in Mag is finally surfaced. A void.
Oh my God.
And when you said it, I pictured the fake logo. I love it.
Avowed. If you bought Avowed on Xbox for $70 and Game Pass didn't exist, I bet you $1 million says most people's percentages would be way higher, because you bought the game, you're focused on the game. Unless you're a whale and you just buy games like random or whatever else. Snowdragon, I play my games off. I mean,
if you paid $30 and you got Avowed and whatever else, and you're like, I just want to play Avowed. Yeah, the let me back out and walk out the door and launch something else is much stronger than someone who put down $70. Like
if you put out $70 for Avowed, it'd be like, I'm locked in. So let me spend some time with this game. I'm locked in. I spent my money. Let me play it. You probably the percentages will be much higher, and engagement might be higher. However, like I said, this is sorry, what's up?
It was like when your buddy's like, here, let me loan you a bunch of games. Like I for some reason I thought of NES. Like my buddy gave me like 5 cartridges, and you're like clip, snap in, eject, snap in, eject, because you have. Yeah. It's like a buffet. And
it's like when a Boxing Day here in Canada and the UK, they used to have at GameStop, which in those days used to be EB Games. We used to go every year and trade in like a bunch of 360 games, and they would have like a buy 2 get 1 free or whatever the hell it was. Yeah. We'd walk out with a stack of new games every Boxing Day because we had bought everything physical, right? Yeah, carrying it under the chin, and we would go home and I would be slamming those discs into my 360 back and forth. I would play for 30 minutes and then I'm like, all right, that looks awesome. And then I put it, I'm a Midnight Club 2. All right, that looks awesome. All right, I'll get back to that. What else do I got here? Captain America. Oh, that looks awesome. Oh, the new Tomb Raider. Okay, that looks awesome. And so you would fiddle around with that stuff. But here's the thing, because I own the damn games, I used to always go back to them because I paid for them, right? And I would go through them one by one, and I would get through them. When I was done, I moved them to the bottom of the tower, and those were my trade-in games, which I would take a stack back to GameStop and get a couple more games for free, and on and on and on, right? But I paid for them. And I think that Game Pass, you're right. It's got that buffet mentality where you take a little bit of everything, but not everything out of one well. You don't go into one well and say, let me take all the beef short ribs or whatever.
Give me that.
You know what I mean? You're taking a little of this, give me that. Little of this, little of this. Did you try the lasagna? It's my favorite. Whatever. On and on. And so, you're right. So now the question is this. If you want engagement to be up even higher, per se, would you say that Game Pass is an issue then?
Yes, I agree. I 100% agree. Yeah, it's like it sort of sounded like I was accusing you, but it's coming to well, I mean, I could accuse you if I want, right? But it's coming to the understanding. Like, I'm like driving on the road. I'm like, Mag, he's nailing it. It's absolutely true. If I look at the numbers and they tell me that there's a lower attachment rate of completion on Xbox, and then Mag said all that, I'm like, well, it must be true. 2 + 2 always equals 9, especially when I'm doing math on the show. Carlos Fontes, thank you so much for the 10. Says, I can't believe we're finally getting a Bond game. It's been 14 years. Since 007
Has it really
Legends.
been that long?
Wow. Yeah. I love that we're getting a 007 game that's separate from whatever the films decide to do. My favorite James Bond game is not GoldenEye. It's Quantum of Solace, I think. It was the Splinter Cell Conviction ripoff. It had Mark and Execute. I think that's what it was called. Quantum, was that what it was called? Help me out, chat. And Mag, I don't remember. Bond.
There was
2 of them around.
My favorite...
That's the name of the movie. Sorry.
The one I loved the best was, I don't remember which, Everything or Nothing, the 007 Everything or Nothing game that had all the celebrities in it. You remember that?
Yeah.
It had like 8 celebrities in the game. There was like all these people. I'm like, oh, what the hell is she doing here? What the hell is this guy doing here? And all of a sudden, like, Antonio Banderas walks by or whatever. And it was like all these celebrities in the game. And that's the one. That's the one. Quantum. I think it was Quantum of Solace. Someone said Bloodstone 007. Oh, that's Carlos.
There was a Bloodstone, but I think Quantum of Solace was the one that I liked. It was it had Mark and Execute, and I finished the whole thing, and it didn't look very good, but it played so well. Both of those I guess were good. Yeah,
Everything or Nothing was the game. The one that I loved.
Daniel McCarthy in the chat says, "I'm playing through Quantum of Solace 360 game. Like right now, you've been playing it. Is that the one that had the Mark and Execute? I'm pretty sure that was the one." I don't know.
Well, the Everything or Nothing one, listen to this cast. It actually starred Pierce Brosnan, Judi Dench, John Cleese, Willem Dafoe, Heidi Klum, Shannon Elizabeth, and Richard Kiel, the original guy that played Jaws from the 1970s Bond or 80s Bond.
Wow.
I think it was 70s Bond. Yeah, all those actors were in the game, and then they were like 3D animated, whatever. And I'm like, but it was their actual real voices, and they did all the voice work. I'm like, what the hell was with all these games with all these celebrities? This is crazy. Like, what kind of budget did they have? But that was the one. It was 007, Everything or Nothing, and it starred Pierce Brosnan. I loved that.
I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe was in it. Like, how amazing is that?
He's
That's
awesome.
right. Carlos knows too. He just said Everything or Nothing with Heidi Klum, Shannon Elizabeth. I mean, even Judi Dench was in it. Like, it was crazy. How many? It was crazy. They had everybody in there except for.
Wow, fellas.
Pineapples. I like to eat them. Very sweet. Yeah. I mean,
my favorite
P.S.
dish.
Brosnan.
In his voice, say, my favorite dish is a hot dish of poutine. Or do it in his voice.
Hey, can you imagine?
Say, fellas, I'm telling you. Like,
I think Mag is onto something that perhaps poutine is maybe not that good. It's
Wait.
a little sour. The
Your
fries
voice-
are wet.
What's his voice turning into right now? Because it was.
I don't know. It was turning into something else.
It was turning into. Do it again.
I mean, there's only so many words I can say as Christopher Walken, but poutine is ridiculous.
Carry this gold watch.
I don't know who eats it, but pineapples. Yeah, anyways. So the thing is a great game. So if you haven't seen that, I mean, it probably looks like crap now, but in those days, I'm like, wow, this is like the best game I've ever seen with the best graphics ever with a bunch of like movie stars. This is awesome. And I mean, I bet you if I look back at now, it's like looking at Hagrid from like PS1 Harry Potter games. It's like it's a blob with two eyeballs, and you're just like, oh,
Everything
I
or
remember
nothing
that
is what it was
looking
called.
amazing. Everything or Nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Everything or Nothing.
Oh yeah, I
Came
mean,
out
it looks like
2007
Piers.
for the
It's super blurry.
Came out the 360.
but yeah, I mean,
came
for
out during the
360
360 era.
Yeah, for the
Yeah, that's
360
when I
era,
got it.
that Piers Brosnan, it looks pretty real. It's a little stiff. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not gonna be
games used to
great.
be so great. They used to just have such charm.
Dead time. Joey
yeah.
Ab says I started to sound like Gru. Yeah, it kind of went off.
That's. I think it was.
I kind of went off
Somebody
track
said
for a second there.
You sound like King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph, or you sound like Gru.
Jesus.
Yeah, you were like. I said,
Hey,
yeah,
listen, man,
it's-
I'm not an impersonator by trade, okay? So I can't carry the voice forever. I can do a couple lines. That's about it. And then it starts falling off.
I'll bet you do a couple lines when you get the chance. We got somebody was like, gave us props the other day and said, and
What?
Hey, we've got over 500 people here watching the show on a random Monday when there's not much going on, but we appreciate you guys. We've done nothing but talk about Christopher Walken and poutine, but hit the like button if you're enjoying the show.
We talked about a lot of video games.
People gave us props because we always talk about video games. Always. They gave us props because they said we already broke this news, but I don't think we weren't privy to anything.
What was the
when it came
news?
to this? But apparently there's a green light and it's ready to rock to make a Halo 2 and Halo 3 remake. I put
We
it up
did
on the
break it.
thumbnail. I kind of made a composite of the two for the thumbnail just for fun.
Yeah.
But I think that Halo Studios, it may frustrate us. It frustrates me that I'm like, I don't need those games. Halo 2 and 3. Halo 3 is ugly right now. I'm sorry. It's the ugliest one in the Master Chief Collection. I think that, and fight me on it. Fight me. Oh, I mean, ODST is not.
I'm
that
not
great
fighting
looking, but I think Halo 3 looks like dog water compared to the other ones. I don't really want Halo 2 and 3 remaster or remake. I don't really need them. I've played them so many times. I would rather them do something else. But I think what Halo is doing is trying to do what Ubisoft is doing and saying, we've effed up for a long time. We need to get our heads screwed on straight. And shout out to me for putting in a toilet for the first time yesterday. Thanks to my wife for helping me. I didn't realize how a simple 4-bolt thing of putting a toilet, taking one out and putting one in, took my whole day, and I was so frustrated. But anyway, speaking of frustrated, I think that Halo Studios is trying to do what Ubisoft is doing, saying we got to get things right, so let's go back to our roots. And Ubisoft's already talking about remaking Assassin's Creed 1, which would be fantastic. They already got Black Flag coming out. Hey, see that? Said it correctly. Black Flag.
You said it right. You said it right. Yeah.
Coming out, in 2 months? I think that Halo has said, we just need to hunker down and do what we know how to do. It's a sure thing that those games will get rated lower just because, whatever. But you kind of broke this on the show a long time ago. How are your feelings about Halo 2 and 3? And what it
was a long time ago,
what do you want
dude.
next from them?
We were the first to talk about it. I think I broke it last year, about a year and a bit ago. So, because I had a video about it when I first heard about it from someone at Halo Studios, and so we already knew about that. And then all of a sudden, like the other day, a very credible Halo leaker actually talked about it, and then someone actually tagged us on Twitter, and they're like, actually, it was Meg and Cole talked about it like a year ago, but yeah, we did. But anyways, I don't need fanfare for that. The thing is listen, go ahead and do that, and you have the choice to buy it or not, but as long as it doesn't hinder any progress towards a new Halo, right? So if you're working on that new, which they are working on new Halo, but they're working on multiple projects. So it's not only going to be Halo 2 and 3, they've got an offshoot game as well, plus a mainline Halo game, all being sort of canoodled and worked at the same time. So there's a lot going on over there. Ignoring all the drama, we're just talking about the actual, work itself and the progress on the projects that they have going on. As long as it doesn't hinder any release date or projected release date for an actual mainline Halo, then keep doing it. Go ahead, because at that point people have the option. But what I'm surprised at now, when I first heard about it, is that they were actually working on it, but they were going to keep it in a holding pattern based on sales of Halo Campaign Evolved, right? The very same way that they were talking about remaking the entire trilogy for Gears of War based on the performance of Gears Reloaded. And so they're waiting on that. Same thing with Black Flag. They also said, Ubisoft said,
nice job, by the way.
Other remakes that we have are going to be based on the sales of Black Flag. Now, here's the thing. Black Flag's pre-sales and pre-orders and special editions are already sold out. Like, they're sold out, which means the demand is incredibly high. And so if they already got a hit on their hands and they haven't even released the damn game
that's
yet.
like $100 and some dollar statue thing, package too.
Completely sold out. And so not only that, we also have
1 million wish listed on Steam as well. Which is huge.
So it's going to sell incredibly well. So there's that. Now the thing is, with the Halo situation, like I said, as long as we get a Halo by 2028 or maybe 27, I doubt 27. I highly doubt 27. But let's say 28 with like the new box or the the new console, this and that. I think that would be good. I don't think it'll come at launch.
Like a next Halo,
like an actual
game?
new. Yes, like an actual new mainline Halo game.
I would think
I think that's going to be a ways
busy
out.
this year with Campaign Evolved to. I haven't dug
the full
into
team
all...
is not working on the remakes.
Okay.
The full team is working on the bigger projects. Those are smaller projects in comparison.
So, what do you want the next Halo game to be?
You know what? I don't know. I really don't know, because some people are like, well, is it going to follow the cliffhanger from Infinite, or is it just going to start over, or just like complete reface? Are they just going to reboot, soft reboot, hard reboot? And I'm like, there's so many options out there. I don't know what they're going to do. But that's a writer's problem.
They kind of Halo Infinite already kind of derailed what 5 was and kind of went on its own. They left us in a cliffhanger with Infinite. We don't know about the Endless.
Yeah, it was a cliffhanger. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what they're going to do, man. And you know what I want? I just want a good game. I don't care how they write it. I mean, I care how they write it, but at the same time, my number one focus is give me a great game. The focus, like how they do it, or whatever avenue they decide to go down, is almost irrelevant as long as you make an absolutely amazing game, and the story has to be it has to be somewhat respectful of its past and its history or whatever else. You can't just be like, here's some guy named Master Chief, by the way. And you're like, we know for 25 years. We know who
everybody knows who Master Chief is. You don't have to reboot it. Hey, FM Radio 94, thanks in the chat, says, longtime fan of you, Colt. Just realized some people were making hate videos about you, but I can't understand as to why. There's a couple of people that constantly make videos about me. It's a simple explanation.
I tried to stop, but... I mean, every time I get off the phone with Colt, I make a hate video about him. I can't help myself.
Meg.
Sorry, go on.
Meg's very talented. He has this really elaborate koala mask that he puts on, and he'll make videos about me. It's like this stretched silicone thing. But the reality is that I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. I don't get my information right or stuff changes, all that stuff. But it's really just to try and stop like a ridiculous force of, like shout out to all of you guys. We have over 500 people who are watching the show. Mag and I typically stream to like 500, 650 people every week. I don't think I've reached like 50 million people in my videos, and talking about a platform that some people can't stand. Like, believe it or not, there are people out there that can't stand a gaming platform that they don't own, they don't play on, they don't invest on. And you see it all the time when you get into video game discussions or comments. There are people just hate the thing that you like, that movie or poutine or whatever, and it's normal. And so what they do is, I'll just be honest with you. I'll be candid with you. These guys couldn't get a single soul to listen to them. They don't care what they have to say. So they have to use somebody that has more followers or maybe is more well-known than them by a few people, whatever, right? Because I don't have a big channel. And then they're like, oh, I got 50 views on that one about Colt. That's just how it is. But yeah, Mag does it all. It's that's just
gotta pay my bills, man. Like,
yeah.
Whenever stuff, my channel, the views start dropping, it's not going well. I immediately put the mask on. I make a cold video. That's it, baby. Money starts rolling in. I got it. That's it. I pay my bills for the month. We're all good.
Yeah. I've been there. I've been to the comment section of those videos, and there's like 5 people going, yeah, I don't like him. He's dumb. And then the rest of them are like, why are you talking about some other guy like this? So, Reforge Gaming reached out to me last week, and he wanted to have me on his podcast. But there's no way I can do his show because he does his show it's 6 a.m. for me on a weekday.
You, yeah.
And I start work at 6 a.m. Unfortunately, I'm not going to take a vacation day to do a show. And I definitely can't like be on a live podcast when I'm supposed to be working. So he was trying to figure out a day he could do the show, but I'm like, I can't do a show early in the morning during the week. It'd have to be in the evening, but he doesn't do a show then. So, no, I like to have these conversations with people because most of the people are amazing in this community.
I talk to everybody, man. I don't give a shish kebab.
Yeah, and I'd love to.
Actually, I did the show with Reforge 3 weeks ago, and it was very successful. And actually, what's crazy is a lot of people from his, not a lot, but like a whole bunch of people, about 150 people from his show came over to mine. And then they're like, hey, man, we're all here because we saw you on Reforge, whatever. And that was great. King David was on there last week.
Yep.
King David was on there, and like, hey, man, who cares? Like who you talk to and have conversations with. People stopped following me because I was on Crossfire. I'm like, are you for... Okay, cool, whatever. Like, you guys are insane, but whatever.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to like them or whatever. That's fine. You'd be like, listen, man, I don't like the show, or I don't like this guy. Whatever.
Yeah, you make more friends than you make enemies when you do crossover stuff like that.
Yep.
But there are some people that their tolerance level is really low. Anyway, it's fine. But yeah, I appreciate it. I don't pay attention to that stuff. When we're going to be in LA in a month, and we're going to be around people that are genuine, real people that don't care about man drama, and we're gonna have a great time. It's awesome.
Yeah. Plus, you know what? It's a lot harder to talk smack in front when you're standing in front of somebody because as I said to Jez this morning, I said a fist to the mouth hurts a lot more than hurtful words behind a keyboard. So it's a little bit more difficult to talk talk S in front of someone's face when I'm staring at you with a clenched fist and a Starbucks coffee in my hand.
Yeah, someone much wiser than me said they don't hate me. They don't hate. She said they don't hate you. They just hate the content because they don't like that certain thing. But it's whatever. Carlos, thank you for the 5. Says, are there any penalties beyond sunk cost if Xbox cancels Halo on PlayStation beyond after campaign evolved and goes exclusive again? Any legal problems? No legal problems, but they would incur a loss of revenue that would have been guaranteed to them just because PlayStation's a big platform. We often ask the question, at what cost? Like at what emotional and loyalty brand driven cost is it? And I had an opportunity to talk to someone about someone in the gaming industry about that question. Like, is it worth it to say, hey, our game's on PlayStation, or hey, this game we're showing has a PS5 logo on. You can get it there if you'd like. Like, kumbaya, my lord. Like, is that worth it? And no, it's not. It's not worth it. It's
that brings
harmful.
up a whole bunch of questions. It brings up a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Like when you think about, like, for example, you think about the Helix situation now, and with exactly that, like, are they going to advertise? Assuming that there's even access to Steam on there, are they going to, like? You think that they're even going to advertise that Steam is on there? Like, this is a whole other thing. Like, this opens up a whole can of worms of what you just said. So, like, for example, are they going to even say, oh, by the way, there's Steam on here, when you know that, like, Steam right now with that controller is actively working against Xbox by not allowing their X input of their controllers in there, but yet you can use the Steam controller, which sold out or whatever else. So, like, you start wondering, where does the happiness begin? Where does it end in terms of, like, business partnerships when the other companies are looking to curb stomp you? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's interesting how that all works out, because Sony works with Microsoft behind the scenes. That, they talk, they make business deals, they do this, they do that. They're like, when do you want to release this? Because we won't put Wolverine the same time as this or whatever, and on and on and on. But at the end of the day, they're looking out for their pocketbook. Right? They're looking out for themselves. So if it's us or them, they're going to save their own butts. They're not going to protect Microsoft. And Steam is the same way. So, like, when it comes to that whole thing with Steam, that's a whole other thing. You think Santa Claus over there at Valve is going to sit there and go,
Santa Claus.
Yeah, okay, I'll take only 15% of sales on Steam. You guys can have 50. No, he's not. He's going to say, no, dude, you're on Steam. I'm taking my 30. You can have nothing, and you'll be happy.
Yeah, you can have your regular cut. Yeah, we're not doing anything special. Yeah.
Right. So, like, it's very interesting that it's happened the other way. Now, there are multiple. We've talked about this ad nauseum as to why, the reasons why. They went down the road of latitude and everything else or whatever. But I don't know, man. This year's going to be a very interesting year because she openly said it. She's going to make the right decision, not the short one. And so, like, the fast one, whatever the hell she said. And so she's going to be looking at those metrics this year. We talked about this last week. It's going to be a very interesting year. And I'm going to be watching it like a hawk. Every release that comes out, I'm going to be just scouring, looking for any ounce of information I can get about, like, player numbers, sales, this and that, because that's what they're going to be getting.
I just can't
Xbox
quantify
engagement numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
they are. They can't quantify, hey, we have exclusives now. You can't quantify that. That's not going to directly translate to money, because I think the Xbox Series consoles, I would write them off. Like, there's no way there's going to be a spike in growth with exclusives. There might be a growth. Like, maybe they would stop being 33% negative every quarter. Maybe that number might start reducing with exclusives, but that's not a quantitative lead that you can take by having exclusive. So yeah, they're going to have to wait. I think what they need to do is say, how about we hope that things change for next generation? And that's something I want to talk about in a moment. I heard some interesting things from a friend of mine about the possibility of how next gen could play out, because Jason Ronald is doing a game dev update this Thursday to talk more about developers when it comes to the Helix. So there'll probably be a few nuggets, maybe not many, maybe a few things that'll kind of give us an idea of what Helix and how it'll work for developers. And I will definitely dive into the important, exciting stuff when it comes to that. Did you just message me? Hold on. I like to put, okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. So when we're speaking of Halo, I'll get to that in a second. Matt, thank you for the 2, says, is there going to be a new Far Cry game?
Yes, but it's delayed.
Remember what it is. It's delayed.
There is a Far Cry 7. It was it's in development. It's deep in development, but they've hit a few snags and looks like it'll be delayed out probably at least another 2 years, maybe 3. So
do we know about
it's not, but it is confirmed.
Do we know what the setting is or anything like that?
No,
or it's...
no. They haven't announced anything officially, but it is 100% being worked on. But the problem is they've hit some delays, some issues with staff management, stuff like that. So they are delayed out. And actually, there's even news articles about that. If you want to read more into detail, they talk about that. And they say the same thing. They're just like, yeah, as it goes, there's news on Far Cry 7, but it's not great news. But the good news is that, yes, it is confirmed. The bad news is it's going to be a while. But you know what? Ubisoft has got a ton of games coming out over the next little bit. We've got Black Flag Resynced. There's Assassin's Creed Hex coming out as well. We've got Splinter Cell coming. So, like, you know what I mean? By the time you get through all those games. What's that?
They canceled that Fall Guys game, and it wasn't like a little cutesy Fall game.
Yeah.
Wish Red Wolf was here.
No thanks. So yeah, and then they've got, like I said, they got Splinter Cell. By the time you play all those games, Far Cry 7 will be right along. You know,
yeah, and I think that Ubisoft,
and then of course they're working on remakes.
Yeah, and I think that Ubisoft's taken that extra year to just make sure that they don't just push something out, because their quality has been, I don't know. You and I still love the games, but they just need an extra year of like, let's make sure we're doing it right. Chris R55, thank you so much for the $10 super, says Rebs is a huge Halo insider.
Yeah, that's the guy I was referring to. I didn't say his name, but that was the one I was referring to about the Halo stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
so he confirmed what we had already talked about.
Yes. And he's very, we talked about him, and he's very prominent, very reliable. He said that the Halo studio, this is from Chris, Reb said the Halo studio is outsourcing a lot of development moving forward. They hired in-house people, but still less people post the 2023 layoffs. Pierre Heinz is a fan of this. He outsourced for Master Chief Collection when he's been way back there. So, I mean, there was a certain Affinity project. The rumor was that they were getting rid of the Battle Royale game and going for an extraction shooter. I don't know. Good luck. I mean, Marathon is already on its last several months. It'll probably be done. Sounds like Bungie's going to be okay, but at this point, it's like maybe you want to go back to a Battle Royale. Maybe Battle Royale would work when there's only one good extraction shooter that everyone wants to play. Cukes Max, thank you so much for the 2, says, I come to XNC for Colts news, and I stay for the mag.
Thanks, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow night. QMax is always on the channel.
We got Gooner Extraordinaire, my good friend, Game Seeker, in the chat. Shout out to him. We had so much fun playing Motorfest online together, racing, driving around. And, man, when you play a game with a friend instead of just talking to them, it just elevates the experience. He's been awesome to hang out with. He goes, Mag, thank you for the Canadian 5. He says, will Mark Carney start to ship more PS5s to the EU?
Oh, well, I mean, you know, as Commie Carney is trying to avoid the United States as much as humanly possible, which is impossible because we're literally attached to them. Yes, he will try to branch off, and Commie Carney will be sending tons of PS5s to the EU. They will be widely available with marketing for GTA 7. So don't worry about that, my friend. Yes, there'll be lots going out over there. So I don't know if that you were worried, but I think he was just doing it as the weekly Mark Carney joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, just merge.
I look forward to it every week.
Let's just merge to the. We'll just merge our countries together. We'll put the dollar amount so it's even, so we can bring your prices down. This is my promise as the next president of Canada, USA. That's what we're going to call it.
You know, the problem with
USA. Canned poutine by Chef Boyardee.
I don't care what you call the country. Just let me have let me not have to pay. I'm paying for my health care through my taxes, but it's not the same as you stubbed your toe, $20,000. What? You know what I mean? Like, I can't. No.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Your health care is the only problem. You have superior health care, but I also don't want to sell 2 of my kidneys to be able to do it. So, I know that.
Well, under my campaign, free flip flops for everybody. And
free flip-flops, ladies and gentlemen.
And soda machines in every garage. Vote for Colteastwood.
And canned poutine across the entire country.
Made only by the best, Chef Boyardee. Can you imagine cracking open a can of French fries and gravy that have been canned?
Yeah, dude, it doesn't work. The gravy makes the fries soggy. It's ridiculous. It's such a stupid concept.
Well, it's good for Canadians because they're missing so many teeth from playing hockey.
Well, yeah,
racism. Yeah. Racism. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Well, let's talk. I want to talk about Project Helix. It's something that we talk about too much, but let me give you a crazy scenario it's gonna piss you off. I'm gonna make a full video about this. But what if Xbox decided to cancel the Series X when the Helix comes out, saying
the
Helix
start that over. Say that again.
Starting next generation. What if Xbox did this? We're discontinuing the Series X because it is being replaced by Project Helix. So we will no longer manufacture those, but we will continue to manufacture the Xbox Series S, and we will bring the price down to $199 in the US. $200 for the Series S, moving into the next generation. And then if you want the Premier, it's not going to be $1,200. It's not going to be $1,000 for Helix. We want to bring the Helix to you for one low price of $800 for the Xbox Helix X, or whatever it's going to be called. Just the Series S, and then old generation and next generation Xbox Helix.
Okay. I have questions. My first question is first of all, a statement. They stopped producing Series X's anyway. So that I already knew, because then they started utilizing a lot of the for the cloud blades, whatever, the server blades for the cloud. So they stopped producing Series X's. That was a deliberate move by Microsoft. That was not hidden. In fact, there's an article by our dear friend over at Windows Central saying exactly what I've been saying for a while now, talking about exactly that. He knows exactly what we're talking about. And so now the Series S, on the other hand, interesting idea. But here's the thing: with such a large disparity in power,
such a theory.
I know. I just like Jar Jar Binks. My tongue, I can't feel my tongue. Yeah, that.
Okay, you have to do the rest of this opinion piece with a lisp and go.
Right. So anyways, I mean, Series S, it just sounds perfect. It's smashing.
It's so
fierce.
I can't do it. Theory that.
Series S is so fierce. It's
so
fierce.
Truly next gen.
Anyway, here's my question, though, dude. My question is this: there's such a large gap in power between what we think the Helix is going to be running versus a Series S. That kind of a gap, is that going to work if they don't utilize cloud, as we were talking about last week? Remember, they said they were starting to fart around with the idea of maybe utilizing the Series S as a cloud source as opposed to running it off the hardware, and using it as, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, if they could do something like that and they could figure that out, well, then you basically got a cloud box. Kind of like what the hell is that thing? The Google Stadia or whatever, but it's just Series S.
That's been a plan for like 6-7 years to have.
Right. So if they could pull that off, and just
S.
continue to sell the Series S as a streaming box, as like a cloud box, then that would work. That could work.
What if,
because then you got a $1.99 off? I mean $1.99. Are they really going to do that?
What if instead of, I don't know if this works, but like, this is a promise 15 years ago. What if instead of making people play a game in cloud streaming on Series S, when you have to be connected to the internet usually anyway, the cloud actually helps the game run better. Like a cloud.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're basically running it off the. I hate to sound like a commercial, but like remember the old power of the cloud, which is something I never said in videos because I never thought it would happen, and it never did. But the Series S is playing the game, and the cloud is subsidizing and adding extra. Yes, that's what I was trying to say last week. That's what they were farting around with Blade.
Okay.
Because Blade wasn't running as well as they'd liked on the Series S. And so they said, well, why don't we try this option? And they started messing around with that. And that was something very interesting. I thought it was interesting that they're working on. They're like, well, we can get it like this, but in order to push it up to the performance of what we get on the X, then we can possibly implement some usage of the cloud. Where is he in the chat? Woven Storm. They're not going to not support the Series X. They will continue to support the consoles that are out there. And that will happen for years. What Colt is talking about is new boxes being released. And you know what I mean? Like, we're not talking about what you have. Like, if there's 30 million Series consoles out there, they're not going anywhere, and they're not going to not be supported. He's talking about new stuff coming to the store. Sorry.
Like, they could do a slight refresh on the Series S. Maybe maybe make it smaller, or make it, where it has the same guts, because the future, and you guys aren't ready for this because I saw someone like, hell no, don't like the Series S is already holding back the generation. You couldn't be more wrong, because the only games that held back this generation was Wukong, or not, Black Myth Wukong and Baldur's Gate 3, but they didn't really hold back the generation, because we almost have definitive proof that PlayStation kept the game off the Xbox and told Game Science to say, oh, we had a hard time with the Series. Yeah, they probably had a hard time, but they definitely delayed it exactly 1 year on PlayStation's say-so. When it comes to Baldur's Gate, it was a split screen problem. Like, how many split screen AAA games are out there that couldn't run on Series S? One, and it was Baldur's Gate that was delayed for 3 months, I think it was, right? Here's the other thing I want to tell you. When you're like, don't do it, you're going to hold back generation of Series S, the Nintendo Switch Nintendo Switch 2 is proven, and I'm going to cover this in a video, that is the benchmark. That is the starting benchmark for gaming. I'm going to find out how many games release on Nintendo Switch 2 and PlayStation 5 to show you proof. I'm going to find out a percentage, because it's probably 60+% of games that are on PS5 also went to Switch 2. That tells you that developers don't want to push the hardware to its absolute limits. They want to make a great game that looks great and is available to almost everyone. And that's why exclusivity has been dissolving for a long time, because developers want their games as many devices as possible while staying in a parameter. The new parameter would be Series S, because it is more powerful than Switch 2. But Switch 2 is heavily relied on NVIDIA upscalers and performance enhancers, which the Series S can do as well. And so the future might be, if you don't want to spend a bunch of money on Xbox, you can keep your Series S or get a brand new model of the Series S that looks slightly different, but it's got the same guts. Or you could just go for the big dog and get the Helix or a PC or the PS6. And it's actually an idea that makes more sense than we're ready to believe. So, Mag, when you said this to me a couple weeks ago, I was like, really? Yeah.
What about the Blade thing?
Yeah, I don't believe that Blade would have a hard time running on Series S, but it still has another year to go.
I mean, I'm not in the office. That's what
I don't know either, right? But when you said
struggling
this,
with it,
I'm like, they can't have the whole thing running off of cloud, because you can't tell people, hey, sorry, you got to run this off the cloud. But if you're telling them, if you're connected to the internet, this thing's going to run or look a lot better than if you use this cloud feature. Now, I don't know how that works.
The only thing is, though, I see you in the chat there. What is it? The DC Gaming. You're actually correct. He just said that. He says the amount of compute required to offer that sort of power bandwidth to millions is not cheap, and cloud infrastructure is very expensive as well. I said once before on this show and my own show. Excuse me, sorry, I had a hiccup. As a result of that, they're going to have to find a more cost-effective way to run the cloud, because right now it's not very cost-effective. And so, like, if you start having millions of people adopting that option, like this jazzed up Series S half cloud option, whatever the hell, or offloading certain features off to the cloud and this and that, which they have been talking about forever. But if they actually manage to pull that off, that's going to be very costly for them. So like they got to, that's going to be a whole other situation. So I don't know. But I mean, in terms of just presenting me with that option, saying, well, here's $800 or $199, then that's pretty good idea. I mean, like that would be, because what did we say before? We said that most people won't buy a Helix because of the price tag. Yeah, and as a result of that, you're not going to get the same attach rate. They already know that. Microsoft knows that too. They already have their internal numbers, which they said in their meetings, which we've been made privy to as to their projections for how many they plan on selling. But here's the thing. Then there has to be another option. So one way or another, there has to be another option. You cannot walk into, well, keep your Series X and S, whatever. By that time, will be 7-year-old hardware. And then here's this box that's $800, let's say, if they knock it out at 800, well, they have to have another option, because if they don't have another option, you're not going to get that attach rate again. You're going to get people saying, I can't do this or whatever, right? And there's a lot. But if they manage to pull that off, what you were saying, then then they'll do fine. They'll do great. I think they'll do fine.
You don't have to play on a Series S if you don't want to, but I think the fallacy of the Switch 2 or Xbox Series S making games not reach their full potential is not, I've said it for a long time, it's not really how game development works. Really great games have a scope and sit in that pocket and make their game amazing. If you're trying to come up with some technology that has to run on the highest end hardware, like is Red Dead Redemption 2 was made to run on an Xbox One, a base Xbox One. The Last of Us Part 2 was made to run on a base PS4. And those games are more high quality and more there's more interaction and realism in those than any other game. Like video games are more than like the over the shoulder thing. There's physics and there's interactivity. Like things can literally crumble. Like I'm playing Crimson Desert. You can break everything. You're in a camp. Everything breaks around you. And it's incredible. But this is tech that's been around for 15 or 20 years. And games can be amazing when you're looking at scope. And I saw that the King in there was like, dude, that answer don't work, King. He said they need to put the Series S to bed. I go, do you think they need to put the Switch 2 to bed? Because it's less powerful and capable than the Series S. And he says, well, his answer was the Switch 2 is a handheld, not a full console. It's a full console. It's also a handheld. Would you want to put the Steam Deck to bed, which is slightly more powerful than the Series S, but just about every game is Steam Deck ready? Like, we have this fallacy about what games can do on hardware. We look at minimum spec or recommended spec, and it really doesn't tell the story. You can fine tune, take some things out that you don't need, turn down shadows or whatever, or bring your resolution down a little bit, or lean on DLSS or AMD FSR. Xbox now has their Auto SR that is going into their next generation consoles and their devices. So, it's PT Maverick goes, I'm going to put you to bed if you don't dare put the Steam Deck to bed. Absolutely not. Like, developers are seeing how popular these handhelds are. And the Nintendo Switch 2 is actually, I still think the PS5 is number one when it comes to consoles, but Switch 2 is sold faster than the PS5. So they're calling it number one. I'm like, come on, man. Switch 2 has a ways to go in numbers to pass the PS5. So the Switch 2 is an amazing benchmark. I'm going to find out the information about what multiplats go on that device, but far more than did the Switch 1. So I think we have this.
Yeah, well, they put quite a push on the third party. I mean, they did even when I did the live reaction showcase they did of only third party content going to the Switch 2. Right, that was a great showcase, and they got some. They already released some great games on it, and they got a bunch of other great games coming out for the Switch 2 as well, all third party. And it's fantastic, and they're run incredibly well.
Yeah, and you're not getting 007 First Light or Grand Theft Auto. There's some big games that aren't coming to Switch.
Well, 007's going to First Light, but it's coming to Switch 2, but not yet.
They don't have a definitive answer, and Switch people are getting pissed because that's a really capable handheld and console, and I mean it is a console as well, and they want those games. But I mean if every single mainstream game that comes to Xbox is on a Series S, like it's just how it is. I do have some trepidation about, if you're continuing to support the Series S. Who was it? John Claude in the chat said something amazing. And guess what, dude? I copied your statement that I'm about to read, and I am going to fold it into my video because it was absolutely brilliant. He said, Ramageddon is making Series S more viable as well because devs are dialing back RAM requirements and tuning and optimizing their games to run better on lower end hardware. I added a little bit at the end of his statement. That's basically probably what I'm going to say in my video because he's right that you can't tune for 16 or 32 gigs of RAM when people can't even afford to build their devices like that. So a little bit of optimization goes a long way. The thing that is the most interesting to me about this idea that comes from someone who typically talks to people that, maybe this is a rumbling or discussion that's happening behind the scenes. Maybe it's not a plan. Maybe it's just like, what if we do this? would this work? Because I know that Asha Sharma said they want to make next generation more affordable. And so I am prone to believe as of this month that instead of $1,200 for the Helix, maybe they are going to subsidize it, which is kind of suicide for them because they won't meet the margins of selling Helix consoles enough to make up that difference. But maybe she's like, I don't care. $800, not $1,200 or $1,000. Bring it down to $800 because right now the Pro, what is the Pro with its price hike? Isn't it $800 right now in the US? Sorry,
yes. Meg. Yes. No, it is. So, it is.
Yeah, so maybe she's like, hey, PlayStation's highest end console is $800. That's going to be their starting point next generation. That's what I think. So let's just be $800. And then, hey, if you want an affordable console, we have one for you. It's called the old rusty dusty Series S. It sounds crazy.
I mean, that's not horrible for me. I mean, like if they knock it at $800 US, for me it's about with tax and everything, it's $1,200. So that's still salvageable though. But $1,200 is still salvageable for like me. I'd still be willing to pay that. But you start climbing into like the $1,500, $1,600, $1,700, $1,800, like if it goes like $1,000 and above, then that's a different conversation where I'm like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of extra money for me. $200 US is definitely not what $200 Canadian is, right? So your dollar is way stronger than ours. And as a result of that, but the thing is, we still pay for the same stuff up here. So, and our cost of living is really high up here. Ridiculously high. So yeah, it costs a lot, but $1,200, I could swallow that. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like, okay, that's I know, clipped. My camera costs more than that. You know what I mean? So like it's that I can live with. That's not a bad price point for the high end. Because now we're even hearing like Moore's Law's Dead's talking about how he's been hearing rumblings about the Steam machine, for example, that it could be anywhere between $700 and $800 as well, right?
Yeah,
which is kind of what we sort of predicted, and we kind of predicted that anyway. It'd probably land around $700-800. And then Moore's Law's Dead said that's PS5, what he heard, like as of today. Sorry, say again.
I was just saying it's on par with a PS5, so.
Somewhere around there. I think that's what he said. Moore's Law Dead said it today or yesterday. He was talking about it. Somewhere around. I haven't
watched the stuff in a week or so, but yeah. So that's interesting. That's great to hear about the Steam machine because he was saying that he could see them coming in at $500 or $600 for PS6. He might end up being wrong on that. Yeah. Jay Slayer goes, Colt showing you doesn't know what words mean again. Popular, laugh out loud. I don't even remember saying popular tonight. Did I?
Not sure.
Well, I don't even know what I was talking about. What's popular? I don't even know what I was talking about. It's popular. Good song though, by Not a Surf. Popular. Oh my gosh, I was in like an older store yesterday, and they were playing like late 90s music, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so old. Like this is the old people music now. It's become
it's become the point where like songs we heard in our 20s are now being played in department stores.
Yeah.
And I'm just like looking up at the speaker and I'm like yelling and I'm like, are you serious?
And
I'm like, that's already considered classics?
Yeah, it was like Goo Goo Dolls and stuff like that. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is good music. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that's like my dad when I was still, when I still lived at home. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like when you and I used to go to Kmart back in the day. Like you walk in and they were always playing Herb Alpert, like
yeah. Holy crap.
And you're just like, what the hell is this music or whatever? And I bet you there's kids walking around the store right now listening to like 3 Days Grace going, what the hell is this stuff? You know what I mean? It's the same thing. By the way, 3 Days Grace is playing in my town tonight.
Oh, nice. And
they're literally 5 minutes. They're 5 minutes up the road. Yeah. My neighbors went. They all went to go see the show.
Speaking of Kmart, did you guys ever go to Kmart with your mom or dad and they bought you one of those ices while you were shopping? Remember the old
my God. Are you talking about the triangle ices or you mean like the slushies?
The slushies. They had like the polar bear with the sign and it just allured every kid.
Oh, yeah. They still got them in the gas stations and grocery stores all over the place. My kids always like mix all the colors together and I'm like, okay.
I was telling my buddy about how when I was a kid, I've never had a slushie at Kmart Because if you're at Kmart, it's because your mom is super frugal and trying to save money. What last thing she's going to do is spend $2 on a big red Slurpee that you're going to enjoy. You're going to get in your station wagon and you're going to Velcro your shoes and get on with your life. Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask you about, anyway, give some food for thought, you guys, about what they'll do next generation, like kind of holding the generation with, because we know the PlayStation is going to support last gen, and so is Xbox, but it's interesting. Yeah, hey, it's A goes, Kmart had a Little Caesars when in my childhood. Ours had a Little Caesars when my kids were very, very small, and it always smelled really good. And when they were really small, I was like, I can't afford to buy them Little Caesars. They're going to get the goldfish crackers out of aisle 5, and they're going to eat them, and then we're going to pay for the empty carton, and they're going to love it. So, yeah. GameStop wants to buy eBay.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Is that going to change our lives at all?
No.
It's
not going to do anything. That's why I didn't even. So I had a couple of people say, Mag, you're going to make a video? I'm like, about what? Like, what am I going to say? I'd be like, so GameStop might be buying eBay. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. What am I going to say? Like, what am I going to say? Like, is it nothing for me to say?
Let me grab some
last
supers.
2 weeks have been like this.
I just feel like they're going to buy them and they'll just own them and life will just go on. It's like, well, hey, if it means that that a company stays alive, whatever, that's good for me. Matt, thank you so much for the 2. Says, is Borderlands 4 ever coming out for Switch 2? I don't know, but Randy Pitchford doesn't know how to stop.
Dude,
embarrassing.
What is that guy doing right now? Like, they need crappy support for Borderlands 4. It's a great game. I love it. I rolled credits.
Was fun.
I played with my wife and my son. We rolled credits on it and loved it. I still might go back and get the completion, but I'm not sure. But the thing is, it's a great game, a lot of fun, whatever. There is post-game support. The DLCs were not well received. No word on the Switch 2 release. And I'm like, what the hell are they doing over there? I don't like it. Just didn't not. And Borderlands 4 launched with a bunch of problems. So it's like,
yeah, it ran
what
really.
What did you guys
crappy.
do to this game?
Well,
yeah.
What do they call that? You guys, Meg, you might know. What do they call that when someone is addicted to getting abused? Like they're addicted to the attention and having people argue with them. I don't mean like punched and kicked, but Onos Alex always brings it up. There's these guys that he makes fun of that constantly like to say dumb things, so everyone will dogpile on them. But that's basically what I'll look in the chat, see if anybody comes up with the name of it. There's like some type of name, but Randy Pitchford said
humiliation fetish.
Yeah, that's what it is. Humiliation fetish. Yeah, that's it.
Well, then that's Yodani.
Thank you, Yodani.
He said a masochist as well. Those are masochists. Yeah,
I think it's the
they all work.
Yeah, they all work. Humiliation fetish is the one that It's Alex uses. He's such a great content creator, man. I'm so happy for him. He's like really done amazing work. Anyway,
except his pecs are not up to snuff. He needs to work on his chest.
Hey, don't we all? I'm gonna work on your
nope.
chest in a minute.
I already working on my chest. Hard.
How hard? You thick.
On Monday we do chest.
I do chest tomorrow. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I can't even stay on track. Randy Pitchford put this dumb AI slot picture, and he was like, I asked AI to make a selfie of me thinking about what our next game should be and the hallmarks of our brand. And it was a picture of the guy that looks like the guy from Walking Dead. And there was like a whiteboard. It's just this dumb picture. And everyone's like, why'd you post this? It's so dumb. And they would argue them like, what do you mean? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with just sharing a picture? Instead of just saying, okay, that was dumb, I'm just going to not comment.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know when Borderlands 4 is coming out. Who cares? I love the games. I wish Randy Pitchford the best because Borderlands is
awesome. A wild man.
He is.
He's literally the Suge Knight of the gaming industry. He's a complete
you with hair.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, he sort of is. I mean, he's a bit more of an I don't know. I'm not going to say too much. I mean, how funny was it when he got caught with that porn thing? And he's just like, yeah, whatever. It's so funny.
What are you talking about? Where's my thumb drive, by the way? Oh, my God, my thumb drive.
Yeah, he's the Suge Knight of the gaming industry. He's a complete gangster. He's a savage. He's out of control.
Yeah, and he's a magician. Clock Rocket, thanks for the 5 and a great name. Says, how much of a PC will Helix be? Could you install Excel or OBS or x86 desktop app? You know what? I can't talk. starting over. Clock Rocket.
Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you guys.
At least I said his name right. How much of a PC will the Helix be? Could you install Excel or OBS or x86 desktop apps? That's hard to say together. Emulators, or will it be more locked down? It might be slightly locked down, but from what we've heard, and Jez Corden is like,
I don't know.
Tried to describe it, that it'll be everything that's available on Windows. It won't have a Windows mode, but if you want to put Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve on it, you can. If you want to put whatever, yeah, I guess it'll just be a regular. It'll just be like your PC, like my PC right now, wireless controller, launch the Xbox app, launch and play my games. When I'm done, close the game and my desktop sitting there. I think it'll be slightly like that. Maybe they'll do something. Yeah, when you plug in a mouse and keyboard, I don't know. I think it's an amazing
no idea
concept.
what this thing is going to do.
Just
imagine. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm basically just going to sit back and wait until they say something and then be like, all right, this is what's going down.
Yeah, I mean, all of your games.
Isn't Gandalf talking about it this week?
He's going to.
But it's for developers, not for us.
Developers. Yeah, and
I'm not covering that. So
I've made several videos where I've broken down everything I can think of, and each one is added to the other. So Clock Rocket, check them out. Just look up Magnus or Helix on my channel. If you want, Magnus has a lot more detailed stuff because I'd covered it so many times. I don't want to go over and over and again in videos, but it'll be cool. It'll be pretty open. Matt, thanks for the 2, says Stellar Blade for Switch 2 or Black Myth Wukong. I would get Stellar Blade. Black Myth Wukong is a boss rush game, and yeah,
I'm not interested in that. I've never even bothered playing it. Why is Stellar Blade available for Switch 2? Because I'll buy that now.
I think
it was my game of 24, man. Well, I'm gonna check right. I'm not right now. It's damn it, my son. He took it away again. Every time I put the Switch back in the office, which is this is my office, the studio, it just magically disappears again.
Yeah, it says potential release date in 26 or 27. So not yet.
For crying out loud. So not yet. Damn it.
Yeah.
I could have played that on the plane ride over to LA, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not interested in Black Myth Wukong, but Stellar Blade gets pretty difficult too. Udani Kazada, thank you so much. It was awesome. It was pretty awesome. It was too goony though.
My game of 2024. Sorry, carry on.
It was good. It was good. Udani Kazada, thanks for the 5, says, Megan Colt, your nemesis, Randall Thor, got an Xbox Helix influencer package. Do that information how you will or what you will. Lasagna emoji. Yes, he got it today, and I don't know what the heck. I don't know what took so long, but we were seeing a second wave of them come out this week, and I think they asked all these people that they wanted to send them to, and then they only had so many made, and they had to wait until the rest of them came in, which sucks for the people who look like they got left out. Rand's a big person in the community when it comes to Xbox stuff. One more from Matt.
They sent me 5 boxes. They sent me 5 of them. I sent them all back. So I said, no, give them to the community. It's fine. Yeah, Asha delivered them herself in a UPS outfit.
Yeah, you know, Seamus Blackley went and visited Asha at the Microsoft campus, Xbox campus, and somebody said, "Oh, hey, Seamus, how about that sunsetting the Xbox thing? Did that happen?" Which isn't his fault because he was just like, "I think they'll get rid of hardware in the future." And then she says, "Hey, Project Helix." So I don't know why people put so much emphasis on someone who doesn't work there. Like, you'll get your answer from people that talk to people that work there. But anyway, Matt says PS5 Pro is $900.
He's right.
And I said $800.
I thought it was $799. It's not. It's $899. He's right.
What the shunk are you thinking, PlayStation? Holy crap. That almost, even though I already knew, that's just way too much money. And that's our show. We're going to get out of here. Meg, I don't want to string it along. You guys will just leave, but I want you to be here when we say goodbye. I've got, holy crap, is it a busy work week? I have a full-time job on the air. You should set that on your head while we do the show. I've got a really busy work week, but I would love to make this video about how they're going to pair the consoles next generation. Yeah, it'll stay. You'll have to lick it first.
No, it's staying.
It's staying. I'm seeing you a couple seconds later. There you are. Thank you, everybody, so much for your support. I've made like 10 videos this month. You guys have been incredible. You've changed my life by being there to support the show. Next week, we'll be celebrating my birthday for real and the 5 years. And with everything with Mag, it's going to be awesome. Mag, tell everybody what you have coming for Magcast, and we'll get out.
Yeah, well, Magcast tomorrow night, 8:45 Eastern, as always. And last week was legendary, but yeah, man, numbers have been growing. It's doubled since a couple of months ago. So viewership has doubled since in January, whatever. And now it's now it's May. So I guess 3 months, 4 months. It's doubled in viewership, doing much better. Awesome. I got a video coming out tomorrow morning. I will leave it for the video, and then I got live streaming. I got Friday Night Live. We will be playing Saros this Friday, and somewhere in the mix of all that, I will be playing the final chapter of Pragmata for the audience, because a lot of people are like, "Yo, you never finished Pragmata." I'm like, I don't have all the time in the world. I did it last week. I did part 3. We will be doing part 4, the final chapter, and no, not Friday the 13th, the final chapter. So we'll be doing that. I'll be, like I said, I got a video dropping tomorrow morning, and I'll be dropping another video by the end of the week, and I will be also filming my cooking video, which will be coming out the week after. So I got a hell of a lot of stuff going on this week. Yeah. No, you can't guess. I'm not saying.
Are you cooking poutine?
I'm going to have an entire show based on poutine, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're going to do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it in the garbage at the end of and I'm like, here's all the poutine. And I'm like, honey, can you bring me the large garbage can? And I'm like, this is what you do with it. And then you just dump it in the thing. And I say, thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends. And then that's it. So anyways, so we got a lot of stuff going on this week. I'm going to be a busy cat for the whole week. And then, of course, on top of that, we're dealing with the LA stuff. We have companies reaching out to us saying, hey, come join us. And you know what I mean? So it's we're just moving and grooving, man. We got a lot of great stuff going on. So anyways, thank you guys all for checking out the show tonight. And of course, whoever wants to come by the show or the channel, come check me out. Link's in the description, and link is in the live chat right now. So thank you guys. Have a great night. Love you, man.
Yeah. Thank you. And thank you to 4XP for powering the show and powering me through with the Ultra Nightmare. They're awesome. Go order some. It's in the description. You can go to their website. Thank you, guys. We are out. Mag, don't stop, because when you stop, you'll turn old or something. All right, we're out of here.
Hell yeah. Not going to happen.
That was the worst. Stupid. All right.